Batting second, a 12-time All-Star. He has won 10 Gold Gloves, a record for his second baseman. Number 12, Roberto Alomar. Batting third and playing first base, the 1995 American League MVP and Norwalk, Connecticut native, Seton Hall standout, Mo Vaughn. He is a 9-time All-Star and a Louisville Silver Slugger Award winner. 30 or more home runs each of his last 7 years. Batting cleanup and catching, Mike Piazza. He ranks among the franchise's all-time leaders in 10 offensive categories. He is the only Met in history to record 6 hits in one game. Playing third, batting fifth, number 13, Edgardo Alfonzo. He began his career with the Mets. He returns to Shea with 426 RBIs over the last 4 years. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 20, Jeremy Burnitz. Batting seventh and playing center field, the man who delivered not one but 2 game-winning hits during the 2000 playoffs, number 44, Jay Payton. A 3-time Gold Glover. He holds the Major League record with 101 consecutive errorless games at short. Number 10, Ray Ordonez. Last season, the Mets starting pitcher finished among the National League's leaders with a 3.31 ERA. Over the last 6 years, he has limited hitters to a .233 batting average. Warming up in the Mets bullpen, number 22, Toms River, New Jersey native starter Al Leiter. Now let's meet the 2002 New York Mets coaching staff. One of the most popular players in Mets history. First base outfield coach Mookie Wilson. Making his Mets debut, number 8, third base coach and infield coach Matt Galante. A 9-year Major League veteran and former All-Star, number 51, hitting coach Dave Engel. Beginning his 5th season with the Mets, number 57, bench coach Tom Robson. In the bullpen, a member of the 1986 championship team, number 52, Randy Neiman. And making his Mets Major League coaching debut, number 60, Juan Lopez. The man who racked up 216 wins and 2,300 strikeouts over his 25-year career, number 54, pitching coach Charlie Huff. Now it's my pleasure to introduce the rest of the 2002 New York Mets roster. Number 3, catcher Vance Wilson. Number 4, infielder John Valentin. Number 5, infielder Mark Johnson. Number 17, pitcher Satoru Komayama. Number 18, pitcher Jeff D'Amico. Number 25, outfielder Gary Matthews Jr. Number 29, pitcher Steve Traxel. Number 32, pitcher Bruce Chen. Number 34, pitcher Pedro Estacio. Number 35, pitcher David Weathers. Number 36, pitcher Grant Roberts. On to the Sable list, the New York Mets captains. Number 45, pitcher John Franco. Number 47, outfielder Joe McEwing. Number 48, pitcher Kane Davis. Number 49, pitcher Armando Benitez. Number 53, pitcher Mark Guthrie. Number 55, pitcher Sean Estes. The head trainer of the Mets, Scott Lawrenson. The assistant trainer, Mike Herbst. Head strength and conditioning coordinator, Jim Malone. The assistant fitness and conditioning coordinator, Jose Vasquez. The equipment manager, Charlie Samuels. And the assistant equipment manager, Vinny Greco. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2002 New York Mets.
It's a special day from just about every vantage point, whether that of a fan, a player, or a member of team management. It's opening day when all seems right in the world. Today, the Mets take on the Pittsburgh Pirates as they raise the curtain on their 41st season, a season that is perhaps the most anticipated one in team history because of...
On opening day is former Mayor Rudy Giuliani on hand here for this game as the New York Mets are taking the field. So, Mark, the first time since '98 that the Mets have opened the season here at home.
Please direct your attention to
And beautiful sunny afternoon. A little breezy, but not bad. Let's go to the public address announcer to continue these opening day ceremonies, Roger Luce.
Joins me in welcoming all of you to opening day. Thank you very much. Laura joins me in welcoming all of you to opening day. I've been the president for a little over a year now, but I've been a baseball fan my whole life. Baseball is one of our nation's proudest traditions. Baseball unites our country and teaches us the value of teamwork. I wish all the teams and all their fans the best of luck this season. May God bless you all, and may God bless America. Now, play ball.
The shortstop.
Part of the opening day ceremonies. All that's left now is get this game underway. And there is the Mets opening day starter, Al Leiter, to go against the Pirates today.
And the pitcher is Al Leiter.
Fran Healy and Ralph Kiner. I'm Gary Thorne, and great to have you with us, everybody. They're in the first broadcast of a Mets game ever on MSG. And let's take a look at the starting lineups. Pittsburgh Pirates have had 3 starting lineups for opening day so far. We hope this one stays the same. There's Adrian Brown leading it off. Jason Kendall will be doing the catching. Aramis Ramirez at third. Kevin Young will be at first base. Armando Rios in left. Craig Wilson in right. Mike Benjamin starts at short. Pokey Reese at second. And Ron Ballone will be doing the pitching.
Well, Al Leiter on the mound today for the Mets. Opening day pitcher. He has in the past started 2 other opening days, and this is a big one for Al Leiter. Al Leiter, the #1 guy on his pitching staff, and with some luck last year, he could have had 15 to 17 wins.
And now the defense for the New York Mets. In left field, Cedeno, Patton in center, Payton in center, Burnitz, newcomer, back with the Mets in right field. Alfonso at third base, Ordonez at short, Alomar at second base, Vaughn at first base, and Piazza the catcher.
And a strike thrown by Al Leiter to Adrian Brown, who leads it off in center field. The reason for the lineup changes, Brian Giles, their offensive star, is out of the game. Check swing foul ball. He was here and took batting practice and pulled a little muscle in the rib cage. So Giles is out of there.
He's an outstanding player. He's put up some excellent numbers for the Pirates since coming over from the Cleveland Indians.
Well, the Pirates had to move their entire lineup around as a result. Leiter with a 2-strike count on Adrian Brown, 28-year-old center fielder. And the left-hander high and away to him, 1-2.
Well, Brown had an injury that kept him out most of last season, so the Pirates are hoping that he can establish himself as an everyday center fielder.
Pirates who lost 100 games last year, trying to improve on that. That one taken to left field. Cedeno.
Gary, you mentioned 100 losses last year. The Pirates upped their ticket prices this year, and boy, oh boy, have they been hurt in attendance. Second year of that new ballpark out there in Pittsburgh.
Last season, the Pittsburgh Pirates had a great attendance for the opening year at that ballpark, but they're expecting about 1.6 million this year, and that is a come down of about 500,000 people.
Yeah, they were hoping that new ballpark would carry over for a few years, because the ball club right now, they are calling it rebuilding stage.
Leiter gets the first out of the season for the Mets, and here is Jason Kendall. Al Leiter, last year dropping down the walks, surrendered to a career low, had outstanding control, giving up only 2.2 walks per 9 innings, 8th best in the league, and a fine record at Shea. He was 8-3 here at home last year with a 2.72 home ERA. Kendall takes the pitch inside, and a 2-0 count on Jason Kendall.
He was the pitcher that was in 2 games the Mets had to win to be in contention for the National League East Championship. And in the 9th inning, he lost one with a lead of 4-1, and in the 9th inning, another, he lost it with a lead of 5-1. He didn't lose it, actually. It was lost in the bullpen. 2 of the most devastating losses of the Mets all year long last year.
2-1 delivery is fouled off Bruce Fleming. So there's one for Fleming. 31 years for this home plate umpire, Bruce Fleming. And that's what he gets for opening day.
Never get used to that feeling.
One of the things, Fran, that you don't know about, I went in to see Bruce Fleming just before the game.
I'm happy because he told me one time he was very depressed. You don't talk to him.
That is very true. I went in there, and he couldn't have been more surprised.
Understandably so after 31 years. Ed Rapuano, Larry Poncino, and Tony Randazzo are the other umpires today. That one on a broken bat. So Leiter gets his first broken bat. 2 down.
Well, Elias Sports Bureau should certainly count the number of broken bats that Al Leiter will get during the course of the season, because he has to lead all of baseball. He breaks 5 or 6 bats a game.
Maybe more than that.
Yeah. I see it right there. He jams Kendall, and Kendall hits the ball right back to him.
Ramirez, he got jammed to short. Ray Ordonez didn't break the bat, but got the out. That's how you settle it in if you're the open day pitcher. Al Leiter retires the Pittsburgh Pirates in order. Now the great expectations. The New York Mets offense. A lineup look when we come back. To the left, Roberto Alomar at second, Mo Vaughn at first, Mike Piazza doing the catching. Edgardo Alfonso will hit 5th, Jeremy Burnett 6th, Jay Payton, Ray Ordonez, and Al Leiter.
And Ron Vallone on the mound for the Pirates. Take a look at his numbers. Ron Vallone features a sinker slider. So that's what the Mets will get from the southpaw during the course of his ball game.
Number 19,
Roger Cedeno. Couple of Mets going to be welcomed back home today, which the fans hope will make some magic. Roger Cedeno and Jeremy Burnett, 2 former Mets, who now are back with New York. And the Bulldog, Ron Vallone, 32-year-old left-hander from New Jersey, with a lot of tickets out today himself, with family and friends on hand. And Cedeno takes the pitch up high for a ball. What does it tell you about a team, though, that a guy who was a spring invitee, turned down by all 30 teams on the waiver wire, is your starting pitcher?
It tells you that they need pitching.
Wow. They have only 1 starter back, Anderson, from last year's rotation. And Ron Vallone, his contract was picked up from the minors only yesterday. That was just a formality. I'll tell you, for Lloyd McClendon, 2-1.
How do you hold a manager responsible for a ball club when the ball club to begin the season is not really a contending club, and everybody knows it, including the owner of the Pirates?
You can't, can you?
I don't think you can.
So long as you're playing hard, as long as the guys are giving everything they've got and doing what they can.
Well, the one thing that you can guarantee fans coming through the turnstiles is hustle. You can't guarantee base hits, you can't guarantee home runs, but you can guarantee hustle.
Did not go around on that pitch, so Cedeno who would love to draw a lot of walks this season in that leadoff spot with the speed that he has. Gets ahead on the count here. 3-ball, 1-strike count to Cedeno. And that one down to third is a foul ball. And will go 3-2. Played by Ramirez in foul territory. Cedeno almost had the stolen base high last year. He finished with 55 stolen bases, second in the majors.
He was benched for about 4 weeks.
In a personal dispute with the manager.
That was more than a dispute, wasn't it?
Yes.
I'm going to teach you a lesson.
With Detroit. Here's a 3-2 delivery to him, and Cedeno again fouls off Vallone's pitch.
Yeah, Phil Gardner was the manager, or is the manager of the Tigers, and he decided to bench Cedeno. They had a personality problem, and it cost him the stolen base title in the American League. Ichiro beat him out by about 2.
Boy, that's hard, huh?
And that's very, very tough, especially for a guy who played like Phil Gardner. Put him out there.
Don't get a chance to get a record of any kind very often. Fights off again, and the count remains 3-2 on 3 foul balls.
Well, this is a tone setter right here, Ralph. The first man with good speed, second man good speed. You want to keep them both off the bases. You don't want to walk them, make them hit to get on.
Well, the Mets have really added on some real good base runners in this club.
Cedeno holds the Mets record with 66 in 1999. And for the 4th time he fouls a pitch back, so Vallone trying to find a way to get him. Mookie Wilson held the Mets record prior to Cedeno picking up the stolen base mark and moved ahead of Mookie for the season mark for stolen bases in Mets history. Little nippy with the wind blowing, but out in the sun it is just beautiful today. Here's a 3-2 pitch, and he got him looking. Good comeback by Vallone.
Good pitch from Vallone, and he has to throw strikes to Cedeno. You cannot walk a guy with that type of speed. You have to throw strikes, and he came back and threw a strike.
In the defense for the Pirates, it is Rios in left field, Brown in center field, and Wilson at right, Ramirez at third base, Benjamin at shortstop, Okie Reese the second baseman, Kevin Young at first base, and Jason Kendall at the catching position.
And Roberto Alomar, welcome to Shea Stadium. One of the game's great players. Future Hall of Famer. 306 career average as he comes into this year. And batting second in the lineup. Vallone inside to him.
How about most gold gloves by a second baseman since the inception of the award? He's got 10 of them.
The other expectation, not only offense for the Mets, but defense in that infield, which really should be superb this season. Alomar, 34 years old, 12-time All-Star. The 1-1 pitch, a check swing, foul back.
One thing that really stands out in your mind, we mentioned in spring training about Alomar, when you talk to him as you look at Mo Vaughn on deck, when you talk to Alomar, and this should not sound trite, but this guy absolutely loves what he's doing. Said the biggest thrill of his professional career was the first day he got into the big leagues. And it's been a thrill ever since.
He's played the same way ever since, too, friend.
Boy.
Alomar got jammed on that, fouls it back, and a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
He hasn't had much success in opening day, though, as far as swinging the bat.
Kind of funny, isn't it? A great player like that would struggle on opening day.
He's 0 for 17 on opening day. His last 17 at bats, he has not had a base hit.
Pretty amazing for a 300 hitter. 1-ball, 2-strike count. Vallone, the left-hander. Now Alomar is a switch hitter, keep in mind. Last year hit .279 off lefties and .356 off right-handers. He had both a better average and almost double the home runs, 13-7 from the other side of the plate.
Got to thank the Mets way back in the 60s for Robbie Alomar being a switch hitter, because his dad, when he was a member of the Mets organization, was convinced to try switch hitting, and because of that his son became a switch hitter, because Robbie's idol is his dad, Sandy Alomar Sr., who's a coach with the Cubs. So the Mets organization did have an effect on Robbie Alomar years ago.
Down the line, fine stop made. Kevin Young not hit that hard. Young gets over, and Cedeno and Alomar are retired, and here's Mo Vaughn.
Good job at first base by Mo, and of course he weighs somewhere in the vicinity of 275 pounds, but he got over them and did a good job taking the base hit away from Alomar at first base. I should say Kevin Young.
Well, here's part of that hope for power. 1,346 games. He closes in on some milestones and home runs and RBIs. And Valone takes on Vaughn, who's 1 for 4 against him. And high inside 1-0 on Vaughn. Left-handed power. That's not it. Little wiffle ball game going out there in the parking lot. Can't get a ticket. Play wiffle ball and listen to the crowd. 1-0 delivery. Up high again. Fastball. Interesting that we have Mo Vaughn's next home run is his 300th that will be picked up on the season, and Roberto Alomar's got 999 RBIs as a second baseman. So they both have milestone numbers that they're 1 away from. Piazza waiting on deck.
Piazza's already got that 300.
2-0 delivery. Took something off that pitch. Valone gets the inside corner. 2-1.
No one has ever had a home run in this first game for another team to get the 300 home runs.
Andre Dawson hit number 400
with his first team away from his original team.
Hit it with the Red Sox.
2-1 delivery by Vaughn. Vaughn is foul back into the seats.
Well, one thing Mo Vaughn did a lot of in spring training, I thought, Ralph, was he hit that ball to left center field with some power. Of course, at Fenway Park, it's a home run. We'll see if he turns on the ball here at Shea Stadium. Mets are hoping for a lot of home runs. Mo's got something to prove, not only coming off his injury, but also to the California Angels.
You know, you said an interesting thing. In left field at Fenway, it's very short with a high fence. And really, you can get a lot of singles on fly balls, but not home runs.
Wade Boggs made a living off that. Lining balls off the left field wall.
To the miss.
Well, if you hit that fly ball left field up in Fenway, that baby can go into the net. And Mo Vaughn picked up a number of home runs going the other way at Fenway Park. He also hit well over 30 2 years ago with the Anaheim Angels.
The question on Mo Vaughn, of course, is going to be staying healthy and the year off. Can he come back to the Mo Vaughn we think of after missing a season? Valone goes outside to him, and the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. He is definitely excited about being back in New York, about playing for this team. He just did not fit with the Anaheim Angels. It did not work. Sellout crowd here today at Shea Stadium, hoping to see some offense. The wind is blowing out towards right field. 3-2 breaking ball. Whoa. 2 fine changeups. Each of these starters retiring the opposing side in order. This year, all season long, we are going to have reports for you that are being provided by a mystery scout.
And with these kind of reports, he better remain a mystery, because that outfield might go after him from Pittsburgh.
Well, there's that scouting report. Childs, Ramirez, Kendall, and Reese, rest of the roster AAA. And the scout is heading for his car.
It actually is a living, breathing person affiliated with baseball. That's all we can say.
Who's not afraid to step up if asked.
That's right.
And his career is going to be short-lived.
Here's Ramirez. Well, I thought it was going to be Ramirez. I told you this lineup was wrong. Kevin Young coming up. Young, Rios, and then Wilson. What a way to start for Lloyd McClendon. He loses his best offensive player in batting practice of game 1 before the game even starts, with Giles going out. So Young got the number 4 hole for Pittsburgh today. It would have been Giles, Ramirez, and Young had he been able to go with the original lineup. Leiter with a strikeout.
How's that to be Lloyd McClendon? You get Giles, an opening day, he's out of the lineup.
Gee. Same thing Pittsburgh went through last year. Swung through that one, 1-2.
Well, they got that fastball right by him.
Leiter with a 1-2 delivery and misses up high. For Young, the first baseman, 32 years old, a .262 career hitter, and has been a Pirate regular now on opening day and throughout the season at first base. Mets play him straight away. 2-2 delivery to him is up high again by Leiter, and the count goes full. 3-2.
Well, Al's got a lot of support here today, including the mayor of New York, who he supported in his campaign, and also former mayor of New York, Rudy Giuliani, is here, and Al was a Yankee pitcher one time. So how can Al go wrong? He's got all the bases covered.
Ooh. Turn off the front of the dugout screen. And the count's 3-2. And keep your eye on that one. 3-ball, 2-strike count again. Young has power. Full count delivery, and Young threw a heater. There's Elf's first strikeout of the year tonight on MSG Network. Catch the premiere of Angles, MSG's newest show, taking the hottest topics on in sports. Al Trautwig and John Zioni will tackle the most controversial issues every possible direction tonight. Take a look. Major League Baseball's labor dispute is the topic. That's Angles tonight. MSG Sports Gasket will follow on MSG, and Al Leiter will be a guest on that show tonight. Talk about Major League Baseball's collective bargaining situation. Armando Rios fouls that one back. Rios getting the start in left field. You see 95 games last year. He is in for Giles, who would have made that start in left for the Pirates today. And the 0-1 by Leiter's up high, 1-1. Not a very deep bench, so with injuries or players out, not a lot to go to. Greg Wilson waiting on deck. Pirates finished last year 62 and 100 for Lloyd McClendon. Losing seasons have become the staple for this team, and that is not a good thing. Was their first 100 loss season since '85, and only the second for the Pirates since 1954. Rios fouls it back. 2-ball, 2-strike count.
They eliminated the fact that in 1952 the Pirates had a record for losses, 112, and I happened to be on that team.
Did you help out?
I contributed to the losses. Yes.
You tried to forget it, but you couldn't. 2-2 delivery, and Rios takes the off-speed pitch inside. 3-2.
That was the first year of Branch Rickey running the ball club as a general manager. He had an infield that was making a total of $24,000 all the way around. $6,000 at first base, $6,000 at second, $6,000 at short, and $6,000 at third.
Well, you had all the money.
That was not quite the reason.
Didn't you say that the steel workers, they had a league, and some of those players were making more?
In summer pro baseball, yes.
It's unbelievable.
3-2 delivery, and he walked him. So Leiter surrenders the walk with one down. Rios becomes the first base runner of the ball game.
And you wonder if the Pirates will try and attempt to steal a base against the New York Mets. The Pirates struggled in the stolen base category last year, but in order for them to beat the Mets, they're going to have to employ the stolen base.
See what they do. It'll be interesting here to see just how many players they'll try and run. The other thing to remember, Mo Vaughn now breaking in at first base is still learning how to play the base runner off the bag. He's not done that before, and he's worked on it this spring. And Leiter gets the pitch up high. Leiter's missing up high here in the ball game so far when he's missing.
Gary, this guy here at the plate hit 7 pinch hit home runs last year. They're trying to find a place for him to play. He's playing right field today. And Craig Wilson is a dead fastball hitter. I was told that all last year, that's all he would see is fastballs, even when he was lighting it up as a pinch hitter.
And again, Leiter's up high to him and falls behind on the count, 2-0. And obviously not happy with the pitch location right now, as these things are staying up on him, and that can be dangerous if he comes down just a little bit lower and ends up in the wheelhouse. 2-0 count on Craig Wilson. And he pops that one up. High skies. Cedeno Ordonez looking at each other. Ordonez calls and makes the play.
Cedeno looked like he lost it and couldn't pick it up. And Ordonez at the last minute called him off. That's why it's important to have a shortstop who has a lot of confidence in himself with that glove. He can go a long way. And you see Cedeno fighting that sun. He's just, it looked like to me that he was the only, I can't see it.
I think you're right. But he has the best man in baseball at catching those little Texas Leaguers.
You know, it's funny, Ralph. I think it's to the point now where if Ordonez can get to it, the outfielder should back off because Ordonez has the better hands and the confidence, and you don't want to take away his aggressiveness, so let Ordonez run as far into the outfield as he can get and let him catch the ball. I know it's against baseball rules. The outfielder is supposed to be able to call the infielder off.
One of the bravest New York Mets of all time was Bud Harrelson. And I mean, he was brave because on those kind of pop-ups like that, Ron Swoboda was playing left field. And Ron came in like a thundering herd, and he didn't know whether he was going to get killed or not.
Well, you could see Cedeno was happy Ordonez was out there to make that grab, but the sun is the thing that'll give you a problem right now.
Mike Benjamin, the shortstop, missed last season because of injuries. 1-1 count, runner goes, taken inside. Piazza's throw is not in time, but he came off the bag and they get the out.
Well, we're going to see teams test Mike Piazza this year. You can see the runner going off the base and Alomar staying with the tag. Maybe he helped him a little bit, push him off, did he?
No, I don't think so. Watch him, he went right by. 7 teams in 7 years for 32-year-old left-hander Ron Vallone, who will face Mike Piazza coming to the plate for the Mets.
Right here, they caught Sealing. Even though he got to the bag, he came off the bag and didn't retain possession of the bag. So it's caught Sealing.
Our Robbie Cam, one of 2 new cameras in use here that'll have those shots at second base. The other one way out there in left field. Mike Piazza takes it for a strike.
It's probably the first time in baseball history that they set up a special camera for shortstop and second base, and that's because of 2 of the best in the business.
You have some great shots of guys turning double plays out there from that angle, crossing the bag. The 0-1 pitch by Vallone misses away. There's the camera we were talking about, way up there in the lights. Seeing that little break right there. And you'll have shots from that looking back down that left field line and around the ballpark. Doubles as a security camera. A 1-2. I'm just kidding. 1-2 strike count on Piazza. But then again, it might. Got one in right field as well to take shots down in the other corner. That oftentimes balls were lost over there in that left field corner. Piazza, what a shift they've got on. Look at the right fielder here. Wilson is swung way around. He's in the gap in right center field, where Piazza oftentimes will take a pitch. If you ever hit one down the right field line, he could walk home. Vallone takes it inside, and a 2-2 strike count on Piazza.
Ralph, last year we saw Mike Piazza probably pull the ball more than he's pulled it in his whole career. He didn't hit as many home runs, I don't believe, to right field as we have seen him do in the past.
He is awfully strong to right center field. There's no question about that.
You know, he was talking about what goes through his mind. He was telling me when he goes to the plate, one thing he wants to do between the on-deck circle and the batter's box is quiet his breathing, calm his body down for total relaxation.
Well, anxiety is certainly a detriment to being a good hitter.
2-2 strike count on Piazza, leading off the second inning for the Mets. Scoreless game. Vallone, another fastball, foul back. There's a look from left field. You can't buy that ticket. You don't want to buy that
no,
ticket.
You don't.
You could be blown off the roof if you had that ticket. The operator has this beautiful seat down the left field line and high up. No, it's not the operator. 2-2 delivery, and Piazza takes it up high. 3-2 from Vallone.
One of the things that happened to Mike Piazza this spring, he was hit by a pitch 4 times. And that's way too much for spring training for anybody. And in his career, he's been hit 18 times by a pitch.
There's one down that right field line, and there's no way the right fielder is going to get it. And that is a fair ball into the corner. Couldn't be handled by Pokey Reese. Piazza gets a double, a ground rule double, as a fan reached over for it. So Piazza's on. Mets have their first hit.
Just saw Mike Piazza do something he rarely does. He watched this ball and didn't bust it down the first baseline. You don't see that very often from Mike Piazza. Maybe a little body English, hoping that ball will stay fair.
I think he's hurt. Nope, sorry, it's a call. Saw him coming back towards the dugout, wondered what the problem was. He thought it was a foul ball. You know what?
Fan interference, but you can, if you want, you can say that the only place that Piazza would have made it to is first base.
That's right. That was a good call by the umpire at first base, Ed Vapiano.
And it's funny because we mentioned how Mike usually busted every time out of the batter's box. If he's busting it here, he gets himself a double because the umpires can then say, well, he would have had a double. Very unusual to see Mike Piazza watch a ball. I got a feeling he felt this baby was going foul.
No question.
And the second baseman pursuing that ball, Pokey Reese, he was in fair territory when that ball hit his glove.
See, but when it hit his glove, Fran, you're right. Mike wasn't even at first base.
And you never see him do that.
So that mistake by Piazza cost the Mets on a base right there.
And also he stopped at first base. So he pretty much said, I got myself a single. And so the umpire said, well, go back to first.
Here's Edgardo Alfonzo. So Piazza gets only a single out of that. Alfonso's numbers last year with the bad back nowhere near what Edgardo Alfonzo can do offensively when healthy. So Bobby Valentine, talking to John Franco, starts the season on the DL. Will not be happy about that. He went out and talked to Bruce Fleming, the home plate umpire, but as Ralph said, that's a good call. There's no way he was going to be at second base. 0-1 count. Throw over. Young playing off the bag with Piazza not a threat to go.
You know, that's an interesting call because an umpire has discretion. If you hit a grounds rule double that a fan gets involved with or whatever, of giving an extra base.
Even a triple.
Yeah, he could get scored as a triple. But they never call that. I've never seen it called in maybe years.
Not in that case.
But in that case, it was a single. That's as far as Piazza wanted to go.
Alfonso not happy with that call. Turns around on Bruce Fleming.
Take a look at that last pitch to Fonzie. Looked like it touched the inside part of the plate and ran off the plate. That's a good pitcher's pitch.
Alfonso now 2-strike count. Alfonso a .289 career hitter, and Vallone's up high, the left-hander 1-2 on him.
Alfonso had a great spring training.
Back looked healthy. Last year he hit .211 against left-handers, and that's just unbelievable. Burnett's waiting on deck. You would figure him to be pretty close to a .300 hitter off left-handers. 1-2 delivery. Edgardo takes that up high as well, and a 2-ball 2-strike count on Alfonso. Mets last year, disaster in runs scored. Mike Piazza, the only guy who delivered consistently for them. They dropped 165 runs from the year before to last year. This year they'd like to go the other way. That's going to be a base hit in the Bermuda Triangle. Alfonso's on, and the Mets have first and second covered with nobody out.
Well, two very bloopy type hits for the New York Mets.
So you know what's going through Mike Piazza's mind right now, Ralph? He's on second base after he got a single. There's a chance he scores on this ball.
I would doubt that because he had to hold up if that happened with him on second.
And you know, the amazing thing about it is we've commented so many times about Mike Piazza busting it down to first base. And in a case like this, he was penalized because he was watching the ball.
Jeremy Burnett's runners at first and second against Vallone as the Mets get a scoring chance with nobody out. Set up by a couple of bloop singles. And Burnett's bounces away. Kendall Able to get it. That was up high. Ball one on Burnitz.
Well, a lot of talk about Kendall moving to another position. That talk has stopped in Pittsburgh. Kendall's going to be the catcher. He tried left field last year, and they said he pretty much was embarrassed playing that position.
A little like Todd Hundley.
Right.
Below with a 1-0 count. Piazza the lead runner at second, and Burnitz with a big cut. Foul tips that one at the plate, and a 1-ball 1-strike count to Jeremy Burnitz. Now this is where one of the issues regarding the Mets comes into play. Burnitz strikes out a lot. These are the situations where the Mets need to have RBI production, and they are hoping that Jeremy Burnitz will be able to cut down on the strikeouts this year and develop as a better RBI man for the Mets than he could at Milwaukee, where they set a new major league record in strikeouts as a team. Hitting, bases are loaded. Caught the jersey.
Well, Burnitz hanging in there, and Vallone figured he could get him inside, and he did. He got him, literally got him, just touched the shirt. Good call by Bruce Fromme, the home plate umpire. Listen to this.
Three on, nobody out. The infield will play in at first and third. Double play depth at second and short. Now they move Young, the first baseman, back as well.
You know, Gary,
here's Jay Payton.
Although this is Payton's first at bat of the year, this could be a huge at bat for Payton. Base hit here, get off on the right foot, drive in a couple runs. He was hot and cold in spring training. He was given the job by Bobby Valentine. Steve Phillips loves him, so this could be a big at bat for Payton.
Spen Williams is the pitching coach for the Pittsburgh Pirates, out to have a word with Ron Vallone. In trouble here in the second inning with the bases loaded and nobody out. You have to settle Vallone down. I mean, he lives on adrenaline, and when he knows he's going to be pitching about 3 days before he starts, he is super hyper.
And with a sinker ball pitcher, you really want him very, very relaxed, somewhat tired. You don't want a hyper pitcher with a sinker ball, because that means he's going to be throwing that baby too hard. But this is a great hitting situation for Jay Payton, Ralph.
It certainly is, and psychologically, it's a good set off a good year for him.
Oh, boy.
1-0 count, Jay Payton. And misses down low 2-0, and the at-bat gets even better.
Of course, if the hypertension is going to be a problem, those two blue hits that got they raised it considerably.
Last year, Payton went 4 for 16 as a pinch hitter. No Grand Slam home runs. He has one in his career. The 2-0 delivery by Vallone. Inside corner strike.
You know, you talk about that tension in your body. You mentioned how Mike Piazza said as he goes to the plate, he wants to calm down, get a more relaxed feeling as you look at the runners on the bases. Here's a situation where Payton should take a page from Mike Piazza's book, because I'm sure he's wired right now.
Only infielder in at third base is Ramirez. 2-1 delivery. Ripped foul. And he broke the bat. Got out in front of that one. What Vallone has been successful at so far is coming back off the fastball. Fastball changeup. Trying to keep the hitters off stride, because we mentioned earlier he's not going to overpower anybody.
He's what is known as a crafty left-hander.
Bobby Valentine hoping the Mets can get on the board right here. 2-2 count on Payton. Piazza, Alfonso, Burnitz are the base runners. Here's the 2-2 delivery. 3-2.
Well, he threw off-speed pitches in the first inning to Mo Vaughn with Mike Piazza on deck. So he's got a lot of confidence in his off-speed pitch, because you don't want to walk Vaughn and end up pitching Piazza.
Full count curveball through to Vaughn to strike him out, and he also on the 3-2 pitch did it to Daniel.
Walked in a run. Bases loaded. Walk. Piazza scores, and the Mets have a 1-0 lead. So Jay Payton showing that he's able to take a pitch. Gets the RBI. First one for the Mets this year. Bases remain loaded. And Ray Ordonez. Totals from last year. Stronger hitter. Showed it in spring training. And Ordonez takes a strike on the inside corner.
In batting practice today, Ray Ordonez, one turnaround, tried to hit every ball to the right of second base. We'll see if it pays off here. Valone goes away with that sinker. Bobby Valentine loved a line drive to right field.
Yeah, but why was Ordonez taking that pitch? This is where you got to hit the ball.
Down the line, could be trouble. Alfonso at third, tags. He's coming. Here's the throw by Rios to Kendall. Dropped the ball. 2-0 Mets.
Well, a real gamble here by the third base coach of the New York Mets. Very short fly ball. And the throw was offline. The runners at first and second did not go on the throw home, which was a mistake. But the gamble paid off right there. The Mets now are leading the game.
See Matt Galante, the third base coach, telling Fonzie to tag up. Fonzie goes, throws off the line. Of course, they have so many scouting reports on these throwing arms. That was a give me the way Matt Galante told him to tag up. He must have said tag up and score.
Looking for the bunt now with one away. Leiter takes it up high for a ball. Charging in, and I mean charging. They're trying to hold Ramirez back at third so that he can cover the bag and try and get the lead runner Burnitz, who's on at second. First and second, one down. 2 runs in for the Mets.
And Al Leiter last year struggled in the sacrifice bunt category. He did not have a sacrifice bunt in 64 plate appearances last season.
That's an ouch for a starter. 1-0 count here. Valone. Infield rotates. They try at second, and Reese had to haul that one in. Started to rotate the infield to try and draw the base runner towards third, and then sneak the second baseman in behind him.
Good play by Pokey Reese, keeping that ball in the infield. Pokey Reese, one-time Gold Glove winner, beating out Alfonso.
1-0 count on Leiter. Leiter squares, fouls it off, and caught Kendall. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Leiter.
Right now, Kendall's saying, I wish I could play left field again. Here's that ball, bunted right off the bat, off of the catcher. The one guy that's hoping Leiter puts the ball in play is the catcher. You'd rather not get hit with a foul ball, and you get a chance of cutting down a runner at third base. And this guy can get out in front of home plate in a hurry, Jason Kendall.
Valone has already thrown 50 pitches when he lets this one go. We're in the second inning. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Leiter did not square. Takes it up high, and a 2 ball, 1 strike count.
Well, Bobby Valentine, I'm sure, aware of that stat on Al Leiter as you look at Cedeno on deck. And Bobby Valentine probably feels he's better off if he lets Leiter swing the bat.
And Leiter last year did that, faked the bunt and swung away and hit a triple.
He went 4 for 62 last year. He hit 0.65. Does square, takes it, and a 2 ball, 2 strike count on Leiter. This is where a pitcher can really help himself in a ball game offensively if you can bunt. Move these runners into scoring position.
Very important part of the game for a pitcher, and believe me, I'm sure Al's as frustrated as anybody in his struggles with the bunted ball.
Now 2-2, 1 down. He squares again and tried, and he's out of there, fouling off for strike 3. So Valone gets his 3rd strikeout. Leaves the runners, Burnitz at second and Payton at first. And McClendon's team's got a chance here, getting out of this inning with just a couple of runs off Valone. Leadoff batter Roger Cedeno. First and second down. Mets have done this with just 2 hits, and they were bloop singles that didn't travel 300 feet when put together. 2 down. And a strike taken by Cedeno. Cedeno's never had a hit off Vallone. He is 0 for 8 off this left-hander. With Alomar waiting on deck. Mets got a couple of switch hitters at the top of the order this year. He started around. They check it first. Rapuano says no. 1-1 on Cedeno.
Boy, is that a luxury, though. They have 2 switch hitters with good speed at the top of the order. Take a look at that. Cedeno with that great speed.
Aren't many switch hitters left in baseball compared to 10-15 years ago and back. 1-1 delivery. He came right at him that time. May have been a little up high and out of the strike zone. 85-mile-an-hour fastball.
It used to be switch hitters. As you take a look at that swing again, it used to be you were a switch hitter to stay away from that breaking ball, Ralph. Left-hander would throw you more fastballs if you're batting from the right side, but that's gone down the tubes. Left-handers will throw you breaking balls no matter what, and so will right-handers.
Here's the 1-2 delivery, and he fights off the inside pitch to keep it at a ball and 2 strikes. Vallone working hard, and the youngster gets the souvenir. How's that smile for opening day? Atlanta's already taken a 4-0 lead against Philadelphia in Atlanta in their opening game today. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Vallone with runners at first and second. And Cedeno inside outs to right. Wilson running. Wilson can't get it. And the runners are caught in a jam here. Oh, another base running mistake by Jay Payton.
Cedeno almost ran by him.
There were 2 down, and he didn't realize it, and he stopped and was at second base when the ball fell in. He should have scored. He forgot how many outs there were.
Yeah, so Jay Payton was more concerned with the ball being caught with 2 outs. He should be on the move, and the ball drops in. Wilson had to run a long way for that ball, but Payton with great speed, and when you have that great speed, you just outrun your mistakes, and Jay hustled to third base. Cedeno was flying around first base. I'm sure he was watching the ball also.
So the Mets have had 2 base running mistakes here in the inning. One by Piazza, that one by Payton. Still they have the 3-0 lead, and now Roberto Alomar. Runners at second and third, 2 down. RBI single for Cedeno. 3 bloop hits in the inning. And Roberto Alomar takes the pitch away. 2-0 count. Now Alomar is one of the best in all of baseball with runners in scoring position. Roberto Alomar hit 424 in these situations last year. Second best in the game. Another off-speed pitch and a 2-ball 1 strike count on the changeup. Mets have 2 in scoring position with Payton and Cedeno. 37 pitches have been thrown now by Ron Vallone. Look where Alomar stood. He stood out of the batter's box at the front of it.
You know, if you hit a ball and your foot's out of the batter's box, you'd be called out.
He took a big step up, and he was out of the batter's box with his front foot because Vallone is throwing so slow.
That was a fastball. He guessed wrong on that, but
2-ball 2 strike count. Left-hander got him looking. Ron Vallone gets out of the inning as Alomar is called out on strikes, but the Mets with 3 dying quail singles, 2 base runs. So Al Leiter goes to work with a 3-run lead here in the 3rd inning. Mike Benjamin was at the plate, and Rios got caught stealing. So he'll lead it off here with Reese and Vallone, the pitcher, due up in the top of the 3rd. Pirates and Mets last year were 2 of the struggling offensive teams. Pittsburgh was dead last in average. The Mets were next to last. The Pirates were next to last in runs, and the Mets were last. That one down the line is foul. The Mets have every reason to believe that's not going to happen this year. The Pirates, on the other hand, still got some problems. Benjamin with a 2-strike count. And Al Leiter a little bit outside. 1 ball, 2-strike count on him.
Well, Jack Wilson was supposed to start for the Pirates today, but he's home. His wife is giving birth to a baby, and he should be back for the game on Wednesday. That's why Benjamin is playing shortstop this afternoon.
Their other infielder, Pat Mears, is on the DL as well. Is not with the team. Some believe they're going to try and move him and may not come back on the roster. 3 ball, 2-strike count on Benjamin. They had to get rid of Derek Bell. A big blow up in spring training with Bell. Said some things that weren't very complimentary of the team or how he intended to play.
So I'm going to shut it down.
So he's gone.
So the amazing thing about Derek Bell, who played for the Mets, he hit about 211 for the Pirates. And he said, if I have to contend to make this team this year, I don't want to play.
I'm going to shut it down.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't have to worry about it. He didn't make the team.
Jeez.
Somebody in Pittsburgh wrote about Derek Bell that he was a true pirate. That he lives in a boat. That's one qualification right there, which he did and does. And he also steals money.
Well, he had a 2-year deal, and for like $9 million, and they still owe him. 3-2 delivery to Mike Benjamin. Up the middle, base hit. So there is the first hit of the season for the Pirates. Benjamin is on leadoff single here in the 3rd inning. Want to remind you tonight on MSG Network, catch the debut of the all-new MSG Sports Desk. Join your hosts Gerd Menefee and John Gignone for all the latest scores, news, highlights, NCAA championship game. That's all new MSG Sports Desk tonight at 10:30. And a fastball striking the inside corner to Reese. Former Cincinnati Red Pokey Reese, who 2 years ago was so valuable they said we will never trade him. He hit .224. They traded him.
It's an amazing story how he fell off.
Out of the reach of Alfonso into left. Cedeno coming to get it. And the Pirates have 2 on here in the 3rd.
Well, Pokey Reese is turning his heater around, hitting the ball hard into left field. And the Pirates with runners on 1st and 2nd. Fonzie just missing that ball.
Levoil MSG Super Cam for you. That's a super slow-mo cam. We'll give you shots like that this year.
And right here, Vallone is the batter, and he is probably going to sacrifice here. Although Alfonso, now he comes in.
And he's not.
He started way back and broke him with a pitch.
Trent Jewell, third base coach, came up to talk to Vallone before the at-bat. Leiter's getting the sign from Cedeno at 3rd. There's Jewett. See whether or not the bunt's on now. He may have been told just to take a pitch, try and keep the infield guessing. Vallone squares, and if that stays fair, it's a base hit. It's a foul ball by that much.
It was a wise decision. It was a tough bunt to field and to get the out of first base, but it was a scary one because that ball didn't roll foul for a long time.
One ball, 1 strike count on Vallone. Trying to move the runners up with the Pirates trailing 3-0. A 1 ball, 1 strike count. Alfonso even with the bag at 3rd now. Now he charges, and now he puts that one to short. Ordonez rather makes the play himself. They faked the wheel, and he stopped, and the ball came right to Rey Ordonez.
Well, so far, the luck factor is totally against the Pirates in this game. He faked the button and swings away, and there's Ordonez right there to make the play.
And Ordonez heads up, knows exactly what he has to do. Unusual play for a shortstop, but he makes it look like it's no big deal. Catches ball, runs over to third base, and makes the tag himself. How many times do you see a shortstop do that?
Once.
That's right.
I think that was it right there.
Jeez.
Here's Adrian Brown, 28-year-old career minor leaguer, but a .272 major league hitter, bloops it towards short. Ordonez started to fake dropping the ball, but the infield fly rule was in effect there. And the runners have to remain at first and second, and there are 2 down.
The catcher, number 18, Jason Kendall.
It's Al Leiter on the left in the first inning, throwing a pitch, and now in the third inning, what are the things they look for from pitchers as the game goes on? Later on in the game, not so much now, is when that arm starts to drop. That's usually an indication that a pitcher could be getting tired. But from the first to the third inning, that would not happen to Al Leiter. In fact, Al Leiter, one time in his career, threw about 170 pitches when he was a member of the Yankee staff.
He was missing up high early in the game, and it looks like he's actually picked the arm up a little bit. Here's Jason Kendall with 2 down, runners at first and second base. Kendall grounded out his first time up. Leiter with a chance to get out of the inning now, with the first 2 base runners having reached. Now he's up high again, and a 2-0 count.
Like anything else, you know, a guy like Al Leiter or any pitcher on opening day would be looking for that consistent release point. Hitters are looking for areas where they can get comfortable. Same with the fielders, although Ordonez looks extremely comfortable.
Leiter unhappy with himself. 3-0 count. He talked to himself after that pitch missed down low. He's trying to adjust here, trying to make changes in location. Up high, and now that one down low. 3-0 count, 2 down. See if the green light's given to Kendall, who had 53 RBIs last year. It was not, and a 3-1 count.
I think when it's a mechanical problem, it's up to the pitching coach to pick it up. Catchers can't pick it up. Maybe another pitcher can pick it up, but if it's a mechanical problem, Al Leiter would know. And if a pitching coach can make a small, quick suggestion as you look at Leiter, gets that leg up in the air and comes around, and it's frustrating early on when you've lost that release point. But right there, Leiter comes back, and now it's 3-2. Al's a very smart pitcher. If he's having a mechanical problem, he would know. Well, it's a good pitch for Kendall to hit.
Don't know why he took that one up. 3-ball, 2-strike count, 2 down. Runners will be going with Reese and Vallone, the base runners. 3-2 delivery, a little chopper. Leiter, and off the bag, didn't get him, and a run scores. Good base running by Pokey Reese. He never stopped. Leiter will be charged with an error as he pulled Mo Vaughn off the bag, and the Pirates are on the board.
Leiter had some trouble getting the possession of the ball. He makes a wide throw on a good try to get to it and get back to the bag.
Come on out.
And just couldn't do it.
Geez, he looked like he got that bag.
I don't think he missed
the base.
Yeah.
Well, the error by Leiter will keep the inning alive. With 2 down, Ramirez. Runners at first and second. And a strike on the inside corner.
Well, one thing first basemen will work on is their footwork. Here's Leiter throwing the ball off the base, but watch Mo Vaughn coming back with that right leg. He didn't get the base. Not even close.
Nope.
And Kendall with good speed getting down that line.
Leiter up high with it again, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. A very dangerous hitter right here. Ramirez had a .300 season last year and drove in 112 runs. He's got 2 on here against Leiter with 2 down. Chased one that was up and out of the strike zone.
Ramirez, a guy with a lot of power, drove in a lot of runs last year. Player, very good offensive player. 2
down, Leiter. Ramirez really jumping out at Leiter's pitches here in a 1-ball 2-strike count. Below the base runner at second base. Kendall on at first, reaching on the error. Reese coming around to score from second. As that ball was hit, he was going. And a 3-1 ball game now. A couple of hits in the inning, 2 on the board in the ball game for the Pirates. Bobby Valentine's club with a lead, but they've not been sharp. And that misses inside, and a 2-ball 2-strike count. Kevin Young waiting on deck, the cleanup batter. Runners in scoring position, a very fine 379 last year. Here's the 2-2 delivery to him, and again Leiter's up high, and 3-2. Leiter's starting to pile up the pitches, even though he's walked only 1. 3-2 count, 2 away. Charlie Huff, the pitching coach. 57 pitches thrown, and we are in the 3rd inning. Oh, the runners will go again. 3-2 pitch. Struck him out. First strikeout of the game for Leiter. A run in unearned, but it was the error to Leiter that allowed it. A couple of hits and 2 left on base. They take advantage of the little things that happen. Well, the Mets with a 3-1 lead have done that so far in this game.
Well, the luck of the Pirates is certainly not good in this game so far. And this is the first of the hits. Mike Piazza against the big shift that was on. Gets a base hit on that blue pit there. And now another one to center field. This one was by Alomar. By Alfonso, I should say. And then the following blue pit. And the Mets come up with a 3-1 lead in the ballgame, which has now gone down to 3-1.
Mo Vaughn coming to the plate after striking out his first time up. 4 strikeouts for Ron Vallone in the game. But he is trailing 3-1. Vaughn, Piazza, and Alfonso due up. And Vaughn will foul that one back. The operation, there's Piazza on deck, that kept Mo Vaughn out, the reconstructive surgery on the biceps, the left arm. And he said in California when it was done that they rushed him back, and it continued to be a problem. Has not been a problem this spring. The shift on. Benjamin with plenty of time makes the play.
All right, Mike Piazza's last at bat, sequence of pitches. Piazza looks very comfortable at the plate, taking that pitch outside, and then he took that strike over the hard plate. He takes a slider inside and fouls the ball back. He eventually bloops a ball down the right field line, and he picked himself up a single. Mike was watching the ball along with everybody else here at the ballpark and ended up on first base, but that's a pitch sequence as he hits that ball hard back to Vallone.
Back to the mound, and Vallone makes the play, and 2 down here in the 3rd inning.
The third baseman, number 13, Edgar
Right up the end of the bat.
But he didn't throw it at the pitcher, though.
That is true.
You notice that? See, he didn't throw it at the pitcher.
Referring back to the pitcher throwing a bat at Mike Piazza.
Oh, no, I would never do that.
No. Okay.
2 down, Edgardo Alfonso. Alfonso had a single and scored in the 2nd inning. Showed bunt, took the strike, though. Vallone was just trying to get out of an inning here without throwing 15 or 20 pitches. He's the only pitcher in Major League history to pitch for 7 big league teams before he got a chance to pitch on opening day. Ron Vallone. He was just hoping someone was going to give him a contract. Well, he got one. There he is. One delivery. Alfonso to left field. They were playing him deep there. Rios will have to play it on a hop and a base hit. 2 for 2 for Alfonso.
Well, one of each. A group hit to center field and a line drive of a real tough pitch to hit right here. He golfs this one for the line drive to base it to left field.
Stahl going down and getting one right there. Here's Jeremy Burnett. Hit by a pitch, scored. And the Mets 3-run second inning. Strike one on a slider down and away to him. Alfonso with Young, the first baseman, off the bag there as well. Vallone throws it away. Down to second base, Alfonso. Error on Vallone.
And the Pirates using the same play that Valentine uses. Playing the first baseman off the bag, and he goes back to the bag and a signal. And the pitch, first base is thrown away.
So that will give Jeremy Burnett an RBI chance as that one out of the reach of Young. Oh, 1 count with 2 down. He does take a big cut, doesn't he?
Burnett's a former New York Mets player and really coming into his own while playing for Milwaukee. 100 RBIs last year.
Oh, 2. Tried to go the other way with that off-speed pitch as they've got the shortstop, Benjamin, way over towards second base, giving Burnett the shortstop hold. See that big hole there between third and short. Outfield has swung the other way. Center fielder Browns moved over to left a little. Alfonso off second base in the 0-2 delivery. Foul back again. Two-strike count. Alfonso wary of Benjamin moving in behind him. And that misses outside. 1 ball, 2-strike count on Jeremy Burnett. Well, Vallone had a chance to get out of this inning. Just a few pitches thrown, but that has gone asunder after he got the first 2 outs. Pick off at second. No throw made. One-two delivery, and Burnett's to second base. Boogie Reese over to Young, and that'll do it. Burnett is retired. So the Mets, no runs, base hit, error. The Aflac trivia question: 1962, who recorded the first hit in Mets history? Ralph was there.
I was there, but I don't think I know that.
Was Richie Ashburn on the club?
He was on the club and led off. I would say first home run was Gil Hodges. I remember that. I'm a little more into home runs than singles.
I understand that. Well, we'll find out a little later on. Now Leiter goes back to work inside and low. The Young, who struck out his first time up. Leiter with a strikeout and a walk so far. 3-4-1 for the Mets. 1-2-1 for the Pirates. Inside corner doing that time. 1-1.
Let's see, they had Hobie Landreth caught the game. Casey said you got to start with the catcher. If you don't have a catcher, you have a lot of pass balls.
See, Casey knew.
And at first base was Hodges. Second base was Neal, Charlie Neal. Shortstop was Elio Chacon. Third base Don Zimmer. Frank Thomas in left. Ashburn in center field, and right field was Bell.
So there's a real chance one of those guys had the first hit.
So one of those had the first hit.
Got it down to 8. Unless it was the pitcher.
Pitcher was Roger Craig. Now, Casey Stengel named all those players in a monologue with Lindsey Nelson. And he went around just like I did. First, second, third, around the infield. And then they got to right field, and he couldn't think of the right fielder's name. And he said that fellow plays for the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Cincinnati Reds. He knew who it was. He'll ring a bell, and that's his name, Gus Bell.
That's word association.
Word, yeah.
Armando Rios, 3 strikeouts, by the way, for Leiter. Correct myself, because he's gotten Young twice. And he struck out Ramirez to end the last inning. Rios shows bunt, takes it away. You're talking about home runs and Ralph Kiner. We're looking at a couple of the Pirate records. And Ralph Kiner still holds 2 season records for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Rios a chopper. Leiter. 2 down. See if you can figure out which 2 records you think Leiter Ralph has in a single season. You take a look at our Delta schedule.
Well, it's Pittsburgh on Wednesday. Both day games, Wednesday and Thursday. And then you have the games coming from Atlanta, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 2 night games and a day game.
It's a tough road trip to start with on the road.
Atlanta, the first major opposition.
2 down here, 1 ball, 1 strike count on Wilson. One of those records Ralph holds, you would expect 54 home runs in 1949. Still the single season mark for the Pirates. The other one, and Ralph didn't know this morning when I asked, 137 walks in 1951. Still the single season Pirate record for base on balls in a year. You're still there, Ralph, in the book.
I've been gradually going out of that book.
Haven't we all? 2 ball, 2 strike count on Craig Wilson. Infielder, outfielder, catcher. He's a right fielder today.
The Pirates are thinking of putting him behind the plate and moving Kendall to another position, but Kendall wants to catch, so Wilson finds himself in right field. Hit 7 home runs as a pinch hitter last year for the Pirates.
If he can hit home runs, you want him in the lineup. Pirates don't have enough to go around. 2 ball, 2 strike count with 2 down. Mets leading at 3-1. And Leiter. Where did that hit? It's Piazza's glove and maybe the end of the bat. Piazza's glove.
Hit the heel of the glove and bounced out.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Each pitcher retired the side in order in the first inning. That one blooped down the left field line. Cedeno can't get there. And with 2 away, Craig Wilson is on with a single here in the 4th inning for Pittsburgh. Boy, we have really seen the dying quail around this ballpark today.
This is a dying quail right off the inside part of the bat. And the time runs now at the plate.
2 down and Mike Benjamin, 36-year-old shortstop, .235 career hitter. Takes the strike. He singled in the 3rd inning.
Surprised the Pirates wouldn't try to push a bunt towards Mo Vaughn in a given situation, trying to bunt for a base hit and make Mo move a little bit just to test him. He had that pulled hamstring in spring training. Plus, get Al Leiter, left-handed pitcher, it'd be a pretty good foot race to first base. For example, a guy like Benjamin with less than 2 outs, push the ball and see if he can beat out a bunt base hit.
Got to believe we're going to see that.
Yeah, if scouts were watching the Mets at all in spring training, they would have to try that.
Benjamin reached, and a 2-strike count.
This would be an ideal ball club to do it with, because the Pirates, you have a few guys in the ball club that are real good major league hitters, but the others, questionable. So if you push a ball, you have decent speed, you get a chance of picking yourself up a bunt base hit.
0-2 count with 2 down, runner at first base. Leiter's up to 75 pitches already. We're only in the 4th inning. So the Mets bullpen will be called on today. Here's Reese. Bobby Valentine. One of the issues with the Mets spring training was that bullpen. Towering pop-up. Cedeno, glasses down. Battles the glare a little bit and puts it away. No runs, base hit, 1 left on. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning, opening day. Aflac trivia question. 62, who recorded that first hit in Mets history as the Mets celebrate their 40th anniversary? Ralph?
And Gus Bell, that's his name. He'll ring a bell. And Gus Bell, at one time, outstanding player for the Pirates, and later on traded to Cincinnati.
She may have a ticket from that game in her hat there.
Man, the Mets were rained out the first game. It's a good thing you were, because the team got stuck in the elevator. Not the whole team, but a lot of the team, and couldn't get out of the elevator to get to the ballpark.
Right there, they should have known it was going to be one of those years. Jay Payton leading it off.
The Mets lost their first 9 games of the season, and after those 9 games, the Mets were 9.5 out of first. And how could that be? Because the Pirates won their first 10 games in that same period.
Deep left field, Jay Payton, goodbye, home run.
We talked about Jay Payton needing a lift for his career with the Mets. He gets it with a home run opening day. Take another look at that home run. Payton gets around that ball and hits the ball, I believe, over the second fence out there in left field into the tent area where they had a party before the ball game. But what a lift for the Mets, and especially Jay Payton. That's what the Mets need from Payton. Look at that. Look at the head down on the ball. Head of the bat out there. Good swing, huh, Ralph?
Very good swing, and it came off the fastball.
Thank you.
He now is driven in 2 runs. His first time up, he batted with the bases loaded and drew a walk.
That's first home run of the 2002 season. He had 8 last year, and he really crunched that one for numero uno in the year, and a 4-1 Mets lead now. 5 hits off Balone. Ray Ordonez takes the strike. 3-1.
This is Ray Ordonez's 7th consecutive opening day.
And that one goes back to the screen. He is on with a free pass. Second given up by Valone. Jay Payton still smiling over there. The long ball here at home before the sellout crowd on opening day. Bemel in the bullpen now for the Pirates. And if they have a strength this year, that middle relief may be it. I love that hat. Here's Al Leiter. Pirates playing for the bunt. Trying to get that first sacrifice down again. He struck out trying to bunt first time up. Malone got it in. Popped up. Kendall started out. The ball was behind him.
I talked about Al Leiter before, how Al struggled last year with that sacrifice bunt, and once again fouling the ball off here. He tried it his first time up.
Only one strike. Kendall looking over to see how they want to play this defensively. Leiter is already squared up. Mentioned the Braves. They've got a 6-0 lead over Philadelphia, and Maddox scheduled to start, has not. Tommy Glavine starting against Robert Person, and a 6-0 lead for Glavine over the Braves today. Maddox had that buttock muscle problem, kept him out of the start.
Yeah, strained his buttock muscle.
One strike count, and Leiter did not square around that time, and the pitch ended up inside anyway. 1 ball, 1 strike count. If Ron Vallone's your opening day starter and it goes like this, it's going to be a long year for the Pirates.
They're expecting it to be a long year no matter what.
Yeah. 1-1 delivery. Leiter play at second. He still doesn't get a sacrifice. Ball dropped, but after the out is recorded. So Ordonez is out of there. Fielder's choice for Leiter. Benjamin taking the throw.
Well, Leiter bunting that ball on the ground, getting the ball back to Vallone, and Vallone opting to go to second base. And makes a strong throw, high throw, but Pokey Reese is able to make the grab. Should say Mike Benjamin.
Now Roger Cedeno with Leiter on at first base. Cedeno an RBI single and is struck out. He shows bunt, takes a strike on the outside corner. Oh, 1 count, 1 down. Foul back by Cedeno. Want to remind you, Pepsi invites you to show up at Shea this Wednesday. Free admission to the Pepsi picnic area. The first 800 fans with an empty Pepsi can or bottle will be admitted. Wednesday. Game 2 here at Shea. 0-2 count on Cedeno. Gets away. Leiter's going to stay at first base. Mets with 13 new players on their roster. There's that picnic area, which is sold out for today's game, and where you can get in with that Pepsi can or bottle. First 800 on Wednesday. Bobby Valentine working players in and out of the lineup during the spring. Swung on and missed. Cedeno's retired. 5 strikeouts for Vallone. We're in the 4th inning.
Number 12, Roberto Alomar.
That'll bring up Robbie Alomar. He has also been a strikeout victim and is grounded out. Mets went 4-2 against the Pirates last year. Well, 2 down. Bunt for base.
A little questionable right there, but at the same time, they got a powerhouse type lineup in back of them. And the execution, although the ball was foul, was certainly a well-disguised execution.
Maybe Roberto Alomar is well aware of his problems in opening day, so he figured he'll bunt for a base hit. Probably the only time he'd do it all season. Hitless in his last 17 at-bats on opening day, longest current drought for any player in the major leagues. Hard to believe because Alomar is such a good offensive player.
Malone's 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Well, one of the things talked about in the offseason was the Mets are going to score runs, but what about the strikeouts? Where will they fit in? Well, Malone's got 6 of them, but Payton's got the homer, and the Mets have the lead. Fran Healy and Ralph Kiner, I'm Gary Thorne, and great to have you with us here for opening day. First broadcast ever of a Mets game on the MSG network. 50 on MSG, 50 on Fox Sports Net, and 50 on the WB11 this year. Tuesday and Wednesdays all year will be MSG ball games. And right now a 4-1 Met lead here in the opener with Al Leiter looking for the opening day win. And the off-speed pitch is in for a strike. Pokey Reese.
Right here you see the release point of Al Leiter in the first inning and also in the 4th inning. Looks about the same to me.
And that's good. Fouled off.
One thing about pitchers, when they drop down, they usually get wild high, especially if they're fastball pitchers.
If anything, he's up a little bit.
A little bit up, maybe.
A lot of times the pitcher rushes. He's trying to throw so hard, he rushes his body out there. The arm doesn't catch up, and consequently, the ball is high and out of the strike zone.
Al has never had an opening day win. It is his 3rd career opening day. All of them coming of the Mets. He's 0-1 in opening day starts. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Ordonez. Reese retired, 1 away. Mets with the jackets on today with that breeze blowing, and John Franco on the left, starting the season, of course, on the DL. He was real happy about the new seats they have in the bullpen. It is a very high raised observation platform. Fouled off by Malone, the pitcher. He came in when the Mets arrived at Shea, took a look up and said, "Whoa, this is good. These are the best seats in the house."
And the Mets also have new lights in this ballpark, and they're really good.
Really bright, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Had them on the other night. Malone 0-2.
Ralph, it must have been really something when you started playing baseball, when Major League Baseball started playing under the lights.
And the lights were not good.
Lights were bad.
Alomar on the slow roller. Malone's out number 2.
Center fielder from the 13, Adrian Brown.
Leiter's got a chance again for the 1-2-3 inning. The only time the leadoff batter reached was in the 3rd when the Pirates scored their lone run. Adrian Brown is flied out and popped out. 28-year-old center fielder. Oh for 3. The only times he has faced Leiter in his career. Al finished 8th in the National League in earned run average at 3.31 last year. Finished up with an 11-11 record with 8 of the 11 wins coming at home, where he was 8-3. What about going? Held up inside, 1-1. Pitched against the Pirates without a decision last year in his 3-1 lifetime against Pittsburgh. 1-1 jammed, and a 1 ball 2 strike count. Great shot here on opening day. New grass at Shea in the off season. In great shape. Pete Flynn heads up the crew here. Does such a great job keeping Shea looking and playing beautifully. Leiter gets the out. Brown retired. 1-2-3 inning for Al Leiter. Gold Glove. Ooh, about 2 mantles full for Alomar at second base. Look, Pete Walker, Timo Perez will help us this season. was unfortunate they didn't make the opening day roster. Bobby Valentine quote, "One of the toughest things managers have to do, tell those final players to be released." And we will see those players. That's Bob Murphy. The Mets are celebrating their 40th anniversary. Bob Murphy has been there for all of them, and so as our other original right here, Ralph Kiner. Congratulations, Ralph.
40 years with the New York Mets.
Seems like two, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
Wow.
Except for those years when they finished last all the time.
Yep. That seemed like 40 years that season, right?
Yeah, you bet.
There he is, every single one of them, Ralph Kiner, both members of the Hall of Fame. Ralph is a player, and Bob, of course, is a broadcaster. Vaughn pops that one up. Sun causing a problem along with the wind. Brown gets there, though, and puts it away, and Mo Vaughn's 0 for 3. One away in the 5th.
Right here, the center fielder with the glasses down has a better shot at this ball. Left fielder Rios really couldn't pick that ball up, Paul.
Well, it's a great shot of how tough it is out there with that sun. Sunglasses down, glove up, and you still have to peek around the sun to make the catch.
Mike Piazza. RBIs today. Payton's got 2, Ordonez 1, and Cedeno 1. Wouldn't you know it? None of the middle part of the order has picked up an RBI in this 4-1 Met lead. Which, as far as the Mets are concerned, be perfectly all right. All the help you can get. Piazza, you won't see him swinging a bad pitch like that very often, but Valone got him to chase 0-2.
Mike Piazza, a power hitter, hits for average, and a tough guy to strike out.
Great patience at the plate. The 0-2 delivery. Close, missed outside. 1 ball, 2 strike count at Piazza. Ricardo Alfonso waiting on deck. The 1-2's outside. Valone working out of that third base side of the rubber. It's not the way he started pitching in the game, is it?
I didn't follow that. I don't know.
Short hop to third. Good play by Ramirez. Piazza's retired. 2 down.
Oh, Piazza's hitting the ball the best. He's usually prone to getting jammed. He got jammed here today and got a base hit. Pretty good swing right there, Ralph.
Look at that. He's right on top of that ball. Of course, when you work on the third base side of the pitching rubber, you are usually trying to pitch inside.
Piazza out of there. And Edgardo Alfonso 2 for 2. 3 for 3. Mets are going to be loving this. Edgardo Alfonso's 3rd single of the day.
Well, Fonzie, the big thing for Fonzie is he's able to turn on that ball with that bad back and hit the ball hard into left field. He looked good in spring training swinging the bat. He was hitting a long ball, and today he's got 3 hits, and right there slaps that ball into left field. Him being unhealthy last year really hurt this ball club. What do you think?
He's healthy. Jeremy Burnett's 2 down. Burnett's hit by a pitch and scored and is grounded out.
He's had more good swings in this game than he had maybe in the season last year. That back was really a problem.
Point well taken. 100 pitches thrown by the starter for the Pirates, Ron Valone. Now they have had the bullpen active once, and here comes Spin Williams. 6 hits, 4 runs, 37 out of the strike zone, 63 in it for Ron Valone, the non-rostered player who made this team and ended up being the opening day starter. They are missing their #1 pitcher, Chris Benson. Elbow problem. He's going to be out probably until May.
He was out all last year.
Yep. And as we said, they only have one starter back in their rotation from last season for the Pirates this year, and that's Jimmy Anderson, who was the other who might have started this game but did not. Williams went out there to check after throwing 100 pitches as to whether or not Vallone feels he can keep her going here. Jeremy Burnett's home run power, 30 or more homers, 4 consecutive years for Burnett's. High-speed pitch up high.
Keep in mind, a lot of signs going on around out there. You get the infielders with signs. You take it. I take it. You get the catcher giving the signs. A lot of times they play off the signs. Benjamin says he'll take it.
Young does not look very comfortable over there in those throws at first, going back to the bag, does he?
For the past 2 years, Young has nursed sore legs. Once again, you're going to look at the catcher give the sign. Benjamin and Reese looking in. Benjamin calling the shots. Reese looking over, taking the sign from Benjamin. But Young has been nursing bad legs for 2 years, and he finally feels healthy. He had a decent spring, and he's more comfortable now because his legs are healthy. About 6'5", 225 pounds. He's in good shape now.
2-0 count on Jeremy Burnett. And Vallone's delivery to him, foul tipped. And it's 2-1. Vallone trying to stay away from the inside of that plate. Payton on deck. Because Burnett can pull it. The wind's blowing out towards right. Well, the left-hander can get one up in the air here. You got a shot at it today. Payton has already had a homer the other way. Alfonso behind Young at first.
Well, Bobby Valentine uses that move right there when a left-hander doesn't have a good move to first base. I like it when the first baseman's as big as a Mo Vaughn or Kevin Young, because you can block the view of the base runner. Maybe his hesitation because he doesn't get a good view. He doesn't get a good jump off first. Right there, he's not blocking his view. I'd move out a little more.
Swung on and missed. 2-ball, 2-strike count on Jeremy Burnett.
I think the jury is still out on that, whether or not it's effective. You're not going to pick very many guys off first base with the first baseman going backwards.
And Alfonso drawing throws is not a threat to steal here. I'm really kind of surprised they've made this many throws over to first base. There are 2 down as well, and Vallone's thrown over 100 pitches, so you think he might want to go after the batter and try and get out of this thing.
Especially a left-hand hitter, you got him 2-2. I'd throw him a breaking ball.
Lefties hit 250. Runner goes here, and it's fouled back off Vallone last year.
He threw him the breaking ball, and he fouled it off. But if you get a guy who strikes out a lot, more than likely a lot of his strikeouts are on breaking ball. Here's the jump off first. That's a pretty good jump. Fonzie told himself, I'm going, and that's a big jump. Of course, Burnett with 2 strikes has to swing that bat.
Two and two, still 2 down. Alfonso, big lead over there. Young gets back for another throw. The runner just kind of goes with the first baseman. Whatever way the first baseman goes, the runner goes.
Yeah, as soon as Kevin Young starts back, so does Fonz. And again, as we all know, we don't see many runners picked off with the first baseman that far off first. It's become fashionable to hold runners on like that maybe the past 4 or 5 years. Fans are getting restless. They've seen it enough.
Well, on that play, there's a signal given by the pitcher as to when he wants to go over to first base, and the first baseman sees that, and that's how he knows which way to go on the motion of the pitcher.
So if you're a smart first base coach, you steal the sign.
Here's the 2-2 again, runner not going. Burnett will be subject to a lot of those kinds of pitches, because he's pretty well up there on the plate.
Take a look at that again. Burnett's diving in, fastball way inside. Now you wonder if Vallone has a lot of confidence in his breaking ball. Will he throw it 3-2? We've seen him do it to Mo Vaughn. with Piazza on deck.
3-2 delivery, runner going, and he struck him out. 7 strikeouts. Opening day before this full house at Shea Stadium, and our Jeep game summary.
And for the Jeep game summary, Peyton, Ordonez, and Cedeno in the 3rd inning. Peyton a solo home run in the 4th, and that right there could be extremely important. Get Jake Peyton on the right track early. How about Fonzie? 3 for 3, and Al Leiter showing that strong arm once again. 5 innings, no earned runs for the southpaw, who's throwing the ball hard. He was inconsistent early with his control, but he has to have one of the strongest arms of any pitcher.
Pirates last year really struggled against left-handers. They were 12-20 against left-handed starters, the worst record in the league against southpaws. Jason Kendall takes the pitch inside. 4-6-1 for the Mets, 1-3-1 for the Pirates. The unearned run as a result of an error by Al Leiter that allowed the Pirates to get on the board. Kendall takes it inside for a ball. 2-0. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts so far for the Mets' 36-year-old left-hander. Two and 1. Day off tomorrow, and then the Pirates will be back for day games on Wednesday and Thursday. And tickets are available for those games. 2-1 delivery. Right field, Jeremy Burnitz. Kendall retired, 1 away.
Number 16, Aramis Ramirez.
Aramis Ramirez, 0 for 2. He is grounded out and struck out. Ramirez still looking for first hit of his career off the left-hander Al Leiter. One 0 count. Leiter's just kind of settled in here with the Pirates getting that lone run in the 3rd. Only 1 hit since. Rip foul. Getting ready for the season. Well-dressed fans. The retired number.
Tom Seaver was here at the ballpark for opening day.
A starter of more opening day games as a pitcher than anyone in Mets history.
Looked very relaxed. The opening day suits him fine. He was ready to pitch today.
Ready to go. He did it 11 times. Foul back. Ramirez with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. There's the retired number for Tom.
He could throw. Amazing story, though. When he was a youngster, he really couldn't throw hard, so he learned how to pitch to location. As he got older, he got stronger, he got bigger, threw harder, and still could throw to location.
Did you say as he got older, he got bigger?
Hey, I'm not gonna don't start.
He went to join the Marine Corps. That's the thing that really changed his body fat.
Whoa, wait a minute. He started to eat better?
He ate faster. A 3-ball, 2-strike count on Ramirez.
Seaver with 10 opening day appearances.
Well, if you tell me the greatest exhibition of pitching is when he struck out, what was it, 10 in a row?
10 in a row, yes, right, against San Diego.
Piazza coming back and has room. Let's check in with Matt Loughlin. Matt.
Gary, as you know, when baseball resumed after September 11th last season, the singing of "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" was taken away during the 7th inning stretch, replaced by "God Bless America." Today, Forest Hills Queens Art Garfunkel will sing "God Bless America." We know the fans in attendance here and those watching out on the MSG network will want to stay tuned to that, as one of the nice things that happened at the end of last season's continued here in 2002.
Art Garfunkel will be along to do that. 7th inning stretch time. Young gets hit by the pitch. So Young goes down to first base with 2 down here in the 6th inning.
The left fielder, number 7, Armando Rios.
Each team has had a hit batter in the ball game. Leiter's coming up on 100 pitches now with the next one that he throws. There's Young down.
Kevin Young diving into that pitch. One of the things you see with those high leg kicks today, more so than ever before, take you a while to get that leg down. If that ball's inside, you can't get out of the way of it.
You can't really jump too high with 1 foot in the ground and one off.
That's why that short stride, you're better off. You can get out of the way of the ball.
That's going to be a base hit. Burnitz. Young will stop at second base. So the Pirates again with 2 down get base runners on. They did the same thing in the 4th inning. A couple outs, got a runner on. Now they've got 2 on here.
Ball hit hard in the right field. You see Kevin Young stopping at second base. So Pirates now runners on first and second with 2 out. That's with a 3-run lead.
That will bring up Craig Wilson. He's had 1 of the 4 hits off Al Leiter today. Last time up a single in the 4th inning. Pirates have runners at first and second, 2 down, with the Mets leading at 4-1. And Wilson takes it up high for ball 1. .1-0 delivery. Hit hard and foul. As Fran mentioned earlier, Wilson has home run power with the pinch hit home runs he had last year. 7, tying the record, major league record, that had been set by Dave Hansen in 2000 with 7.
And those 7 home runs, I'm sure, will get him an opportunity to play every day. If you're older, they pretty much pigeonhole you as a pinch hitter. But if you're a young player, they try to get you in the lineup.
And he is 25 years old. In 88 games, he hit .310 last year, his first major league season, and did have 13 home runs, 32 RBIs. Not bad.
They're going to find a spot for him, especially with a ball club like the Pirates.
2 ball 1 strike count, 2 down, runners off first and second. Leiter comes inside to him, and a 3 ball 1 strike count. And the Mets bullpen, as Leiter goes past 100 pitches, gets active. Kane Davis and David Weathers. Weathers closest to you.
This is an important pitch for the Pirates right here. 3-1, and you got to look fastball here.
Down the line, Cedeno, foul ball.
We talked about the report on Wilson earlier. He's a dead fastball hitter. As Ralph mentioned, Al's going to throw him that fastball. Why take a chance? You got a 3-run lead, so it's going to be power against power. And Leiter he throws a heavy fastball right there. Wilson pretty much getting that ball up on the hands.
Fans applauding for a strikeout here to get the inning over with. Mayor of New York's going to be joining us in the next half inning. 2 on here, 3-2 count, 2 down. Runners will be going. And another one lifted foul. Leiter getting the ball in on those last 2 pitches to Craig Wilson.
Usually when Al Leiter gets a ball in on a hitter, he's breaking their back. Wilson pulled that ball way foul.
That means he's a fastball hitter right there.
Mets play him deep. 3-2 with the runners going. And Wilson goes down swinging. Kept that one down and away. 4 strikeouts for Al Leiter, no runs. Base hit, and 2 are left on base for the Pirates, who trail this one.
World, we had a terrible tragedy. We lost a lot of great people, but we're going to recover, and I think, you know, we'll go on, and there'll be opening days, and the future is bright for our children, and that's what we got to focus on.
Mayor of New York Michael Bloomberg joining us here. 1 strike count as the Mets have the 4-1 lead, and have got Vallone out of there, so we got the right-hander on now. And Jay Payton, who delivered a home run his last time up for the Mets. Baseball fan from days back?
Well, I was asked, was I a Red Sox fan? I said I grew up in Boston, and then I told the reporter that I went to day camp with Warren Spahn's daughter. He'd never heard of the Boston Braves, didn't know who Warren Spahn was.
Ooh. And that'll be handled right there. We'll give you a chance to talk over your replay. Here's your first pitch.
Well, that's my split-fingered curveball. You'll notice it curved. Instead of left to right or right to left, it went up to down, but it's a curve nevertheless.
Did you get an autograph?
I did not ask for an autograph from myself, but I will when I get home.
Very good. You're a good guy not to do that on opening day with Mike out there. Ray Ordonez coming up with one away, and Ordonez takes that one to right center field. That wind blowing that way, and that's going to fall into no man's land. So Ordonez is on with a base hit, and the Mets have a runner on. This guy here did a little better with that with the bat, maybe than you did pitching, but I'm not sure.
Well, I think, you know, when I grew up, he was my hero, so maybe he'll give me a few lessons afterwards, so you can teach my kids a little bit about hitting.
Well, after you work on their pitching, I think you better come to me for the hitting now.
My youngest daughter was a big Little League player in the 4th grade, but 5th grade pitching she could never hit, so she went on to other sports. Now, if she'd had you as a coach,
all right,
would have made a difference, you know?
It'd be good, yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. All right, we've got Gary Matthews Jr. now coming to the plate. He'll be pinch hitting for Al Leiter. Mayor, it's great to have you with us on hand here for opening day, and we hope we'll have a chance to see you again at the ballpark.
I will come out a lot, and you know, this is one of the great parts of New York City. It's great to be in Queens, and my predecessor was always at the Yankee games, although he was here with me today. Rudy enjoys the Mets. I used to say to him, do you go to Shea Stadium? He says, yeah. He says, they always boo me. He said, they always vote for me, too.
And in the end.
Mayor
Michael Bloomberg of New York, thanks very much for coming by. Thanks. We greatly enjoyed seeing you, and we hope you enjoy the ball game.
Thanks for having me. It's going to be a great game, and Mets are going to win.
All right, thank you. Thanks. Mayor of New York, Michael Bloomberg coming by to say hi here as the New York Mets have the 4-1 lead after throwing out the first pitch in today's game. Al Leiter's out of the ball game. Gary Matthews Jr. pinch hitting for him down the left field line. That's Rios. Tough chance, and he got it. Wow. Runner back to first base is Ordonez. That's a tough play.
Ralph, if that ball was caught in the World Series, like who was it, Gianfrido?
No, it's Sandy Emmerich.
And it was a famous catch going over in that corner. Who hit that ball when they made that play?
You asked one too many questions.
I'm sorry about that. That's a nice play right there. Was it DiMaggio or Yogi?
Well, no, Gianfrido was the one that caught DiMaggio's drive to left field. It was going to be a home run over the 402 mark in left center field. But Amoroso made that catch in the no-hit game.
I'm sorry I asked that question.
Anything else?
Nothing. I don't even know why that reminded me of that.
No, Amos made that catch in the when the Dodgers won the championship, the World Championship.
Strike that question.
Mike Lincoln on the mound for the Pirates in relief of Ron Vallone. There goes the runner. Throw down. Not in time. Stolen base. Ray Ordonez.
Looked like a delayed steal for Ordonez. Take a look at it again. Straightaway steal. And the head first slide. So a stolen base for Ray Ordonez.
Got in there with a hand tag of the bag. And Ordonez gets himself in scoring position with 2 down now against Mike Lincoln, the right-handed reliever. Mets up 4-1. And a pitch taken for a strike on the inside corner as Cedeno turns around to bat on the other side after facing the lefty. David Weathers still up in the bullpen.
I think I have to guess on who made the catch by hitting the ball. Yogi Berra, I think it was.
Was it Yogi?
Yeah.
Lincoln with a 1-2 delivery. Mike Lincoln last year was with AAA Nashville, and the Pirates went 2-1 in 31 relief appearances. Worked only 40 innings last year out of the bullpen for Pittsburgh. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Cedeno, and he's gone. Called out on strikes. Cedeno retired. 3rd time he has gone down via the K route.
Get up close features and interviews and recap the entire week's amazing Mets action. Mets Inside Pitch, Friday at 6 on MSG.
What are we going to see right here?
We're going to see Yogi Berra hit this ball down the left field corner and the catch by Sandy Ambrose. And that was a great play by Sandy. And that was in 1955 when the Dodgers won 2-0 over the Yankees that won their only World Championship in Brooklyn.
Oh, Ralph, aren't you happy I asked that question?
Now I am.
And look at this. The play that reminded me of that play, and I don't know why, but it did.
Similar plays, yeah. The great story about Sandy Ambrose was that Tommy Lasorda of the Dodgers, and now the manager of the Dodgers, and they were honoring the 55 Dodgers at Ebbets Field. And Lasorda said to Pee Wee Reese, you know, of all the guys on our squad that year, he said, I was probably the last guy you'd ever think would manage the Dodgers. And Pee Wee Reese very subtly said, no, it would be Sandy Ambrose. And Lasorda was taken aback by that. He said, why him? He said, because he didn't speak English.
David Weathers welcomes himself to the New York Mets with a strikeout of Mike Benjamin. Weathers on for Leiter.
Take a look at that last pitch, and the pitch is right on the corner. All you can do there is hope to foul it off or go back to the dugout. And Benjamin went back to the dugout. Look at that. Outstanding. Right on the money. You can't beat that pitch. Good target. Framed well by Mike Piazza.
Pokey Reese, who has singled and scored the lone Pirate run that came in the 2nd inning on an error charged to Al Leiter, who's now out of the game. Leiter went 6, gave up 1 unearned run, 4 hits. He walked 1 and struck out 4. Pretty good outing.
Yeah, Al Leiter had good stuff. Very good stuff tonight or this afternoon. So that's important for the Mets. They got so far some nice production from Jay Payton. Fonzie, who was a question mark with that bad back, has 3 hits in this game. But Al Leiter, the story here.
David Weathers is going to play a very important part in this bullpen. 32-year-old right-hander. Weathers pitching last season with Milwaukee and Chicago. Mel warming up again, 2nd time he's been up in the bullpen. Weathers held opposing batters to a .216 average last year. He ended up combined with 4 wins, 5 losses with the Brewers and the Cubs. And he gets another strikeout.
So Weathers, 2 hitters, 2 outs, 2 strikeouts. Made a perfect pitch on Benjamin. And look at that, right on the corner inside part of the plate. Now, of course, you get the shadows, and this is a break for a pitcher right now. You're throwing out of that sun area into the shadows. Well, too late with that telestrator. Sorry about that.
Don't want to hit there. That one down to 3rd. Edgardo Alfonso's up with it. Play made to Vaughn. Keith Osick, the pinch hitter, retired. Pirates' 3rd pitcher of the day, Joe Beimel, coming out of the bullpen. 2nd straight appearance on the opening day roster for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Made his major league debut as a starter last year. Works out of the pen here, and Roberto Alomar looking for his first hit. 0 for 20 on opening days now, as he's had an 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Leads it off for the Mets in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Numbers 4 to the left-hander Joe Beimel. Slow roller to short. Mike Benjamin diving head first, didn't get it.
Well, we talked about Robbie Alomar's troubles on opening day, and right there, putting the ball in play and diving into first base. So Robbie Alomar probably somewhat aware of it, and extra effort trying to beat out that base hit. Of course, they tell you you arrive at first base quicker if you do it standing up. I don't know if it's ever been proven, because he arrived at first base in a hurry right there.
I don't think the Mets want to see those hands being jammed into the bag, though, do you?
No, you don't want to see him get injured. In fact, I think baseball today is more prone to encourage players to stay away from the head-first slide. Unfortunately, it's going against the grain because the head-first slide is the epitome of hustle, supposedly.
Mo Vaughn's old team, the Red Sox, are having some good time in Boston. They were behind in the 3rd inning, 8-3 against Toronto. They're now in the 4th inning. It's 11-8 Boston. That's Pedro Martinez. Vaughn down to first base, played by Young, and there are 2 down. So Vaughn retired. He's had an 0 for 4 today. Mike Piazza coming up.
And you take a look at our Mercedes-Benz batting average active career leaders. You see Todd Helton, 334. Garcia Parra, 332. Mike Piazza in the top 5. How unusual for a catcher to be in any category like that, especially the batting average category.
We're talking about getting hit by a pitch. We have the note today that Piazza hit 4 times during the spring. Has never been hit by more than 3 pitches in any season. But he got hit 4 times in spring training this year. And then, of course, made the point on that last one when he got hit of going after the pitcher that did it. 2-0 delivery. And that one misses from Beimel. Mike Lincoln worked an inning, gave up 1 hit and struck out 1. Vallone went 5, 4 runs, 6 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts with the starter Ron Vallone. And Piazza's on.
Well, a game we televised from Florida. Here it is, Mota hitting Piazza. And Piazza sat in the dugout, waited for Mota to be removed from the ball game, and then started walking down the first baseline with him. And all of a sudden wanted to get closer so he could hear him, so he grabbed him by the neck. Can you do this?
Still haven't had the official word from Bob Watson on whether anything will happen. I mean, the likelihood is no.
I'll tell you, Bob Watson must be upset. He was overruled on a decision he made. So the judge was overruled. So here comes the judge. Doesn't matter anymore. There goes the judge. Bob Watson, very nice guy. Outstanding player and would be a great judge.
Is that a promotion that you're asking for?
Yeah, for Bob Watson.
I thought so. Pitching change by Mulata there, and the right-hander coming on as Edgardo Alfonzo will be up with Mike Piazza on at first base after drawing the walk. The Mets have the 4-1 lead against the Pirates here in the opener. Edgardo Alfonzo waiting to come up. Is looking for a 4-hit day, Fran, as he's had 3 singles already in the ball game and has scored a run.
Well, Fonzie, as Gary mentioned, picking up 3 hits. Right there, he muscles that ball into the outfield. In the 3rd inning, they throw him down and in. He hits a looper in the left field. And then later on in the ball game, in the 5th inning, he takes his pitch and it's a bullet in the left field. So Fonzie's got his stroke down here opening day at Shea.
He has had as many as 6 hits in a ball game in '99 at Houston. Had a career high 6-hit day.
I'm sure, Gary, that when somebody has an off year like Fonzie had last year, especially when you have a back problem, you have some doubters, whether or not that back is that bad, and maybe a player's getting older, who knows. So I'm sure the Mets were concerned, but Fonzie comes out swinging this year. He worked out hard all winter long, and he came out hammering the baseball here in the first game in front of a full house at Shea Stadium.
We haven't got the attendance number yet, but 54,000, I would think, or more on hand here today. Sellout crowd.
This should be an exciting ball club all year round. If they can keep the team healthy, they should have a good ball club. They got the new faces. They got the old face right there. Fonzie coming on strong. And if Fonzie can put together a year like he had 2 years ago, he was maybe the best all-around hitter on the Mets club 2 years ago.
He will face Sean Lowe out of the bullpen. Pitched with the White Sox last year, was 9-4, 11 starts and 45 appearances. Had an ERA of 3.61, 71 strikeouts, 32 walks last year. Sean Lowe on the mound. Piazza's at first, 2 down. Taken the other way and towards the line by Edgardo Alfonzo and in the seats. Four pitchers now have been used in the ball game by the Pirates. Burnett's waiting on deck. Al Leiter starting for the Mets. 1 unearned run over 6 on 4 hits. Pitcher of record for the Mets. Vallone the same for the Pirates. Alfonzo takes the breaking ball. Didn't go after that one. 1-1. 4 runs, 7 hits for the Mets. Lloyd McClendon, second season manager of these Pittsburgh Pirates. That one's going to be top foul. Pirates have had 9 consecutive losing seasons.
When they were good, they were very good. But when they're bad, they don't try to be good.
100 losses. Oof.
And the teams Ralph Kiner played for really struggled. Ralph was the big drawing card. There's Bill Burton, who was an outstanding center fielder.
Those 9 losing seasons, only one other team has had a streak that long in the last 40 years, and that's the Cubs. They had 11 straight losing years, 73 through 83.
You expected it from the Cubs, but not the Pirates.
Alfonzo swings through that one and is retired. So Lowe comes on, gets the job done. No runs, no hits, 1 base runner left on. The Mets have left the runner on every inning except the first, and they've pushed across enough to have the lead. Our time. The circular Mets logo virtually unchanged since November of '61. The choices for the team name besides the Mets, the Rebels, Skyliners. Good song, good group. The NYBs, the Burros, the Jets, the Continentals, another good group, the Avengers, and the Islanders. But no, it's Mets, and it's not Metropolitans. It's just
New York Mets.
There you go. David Weathers retired the side in order in the 7th inning. He'll stay on the mound here. Adrian Brown, leadoff batters, 0 for 3. The Pirates have had 4 hits in the game, and they've all been singles. They've left 5, only 2 in scoring position in the game, with the Mets having the 4-1 lead. 1 ball, 1 strike count from David Weathers.
It's a little easier to pick up that ball from the pitcher now because the shadow's all the way out there.
Where is he?
I don't know. You can't see the pitcher, but you can pick up the ball a lot better.
Here's the 1-1 delivery, fouled back by Brown.
But certainly the Mets got a great day for opening day. The weather, they were predicting some rain, but boy, oh boy, what a day it's been. They're hoping for the same on Wednesday and Thursday afternoons here at Shea. So if you're thinking of coming out, come on out and take a look at the new faces with the Mets.
61 degrees at game time. Lots of sunshine. Warmer in the sun.
Big
2 ball,
Mo.
2 strike count.
Big Mo, one of the new faces. Robbie Alomar. Cedeno, relatively new.
3 ball, 2 strike count on Brown. There's a new face on the mound.
Yeah, David Weathers, you got Jeremy Burnitz, who was a baby in the organization. Now he's back. The Mets have 13 players on their opening day roster who ended last season with different major league teams.
And he walked it. Speaking of that next ball game, Wednesday afternoon, MSG Network, Mets and Pirates, game 2. Geico Mets on deck at 12:30. Mets and Pirates, 1 o'clock. So join us Wednesday here on MSG Networks for game 2.
That's when the real season gets underway. Opening day is a special day, almost like playoff atmosphere.
And by the way, the starters will be Steve Traxel against Kip Wells Wednesday and Thursday afternoon. Play will go to first. Sean Estes and Jimmy Anderson. Weathers gets the out. Brown goes down to second base.
Well, you got to go for the sure out when you have that 3-run lead. Did he have a shot at second base? Yeah, he had a shot, but you go for that sure out. There's one man down, runner on second base. It's very important for the catcher when he calls that play to know the pitcher's ability defensively. You don't want to get burnt because you don't know your pitcher's ability defensively, because you call the wrong base, you can set the tone for the opposition.
Ramirez up with one down, runner on at second base. Top of the 8th inning, 4-1 lead. Obviously an important inning for the Pirates here. Try and push across at least 1 run. They are far from out of the ball game. They've got some long ball bats. That pitch is taken inside. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Mike Guthrie in the bullpen now. Randy Neiman, the bullpen coach, watching. Ramirez at the plate, only 23 years old. One of their great hopes for the future. 300 season last year at the plate. Slow topper to third. Alfonso. Vaughn takes that one on the other side of the bag. Runner moves up, but there are 2 down.
And Ramirez is a big key to the ball club if they're going to do anything. Hits home runs, drives in over 100 runs, hits 300. You look at Kevin Young, who's the batter now. Well, you see the Braves on top of the Phillies 7-2. So Tom Glavine gets the victory. Greg Maddux did not pitch in that ball game. I wonder how Scott Rowland did. I wonder if he and Larry Bowa were hugging or wrestling. That's going to be an interesting story all season long.
Got to believe they start out poorly and Rowland starts out poorly. It's going to get really ugly, huh?
And of course, he turned down an offer of at least reportedly it was an offer of $140 million over 10 years. Boy, oh boy.
Must be nice to be able to turn that down.
Take a look at that last pitch. Look at the way Mike Piazza catches that ball, gives the umpire a good shot at it.
0-2 delivery by Weathers, and Young, who has struck out twice already, fouls it back to keep it at 0-2.
You know, a lot of the catchers who have caught years ago, you were taught to receive the ball with soft hands. Today, and I think it's even better today, because they go out there with that stiff arm and they catch that ball and give the umpire a shot out in front. Take a look at Mike stiff arms this baby right here. Now he lets it get up closer to him, but when he wants to frame it, he'll catch with that stiff arm.
Boy, Weathers impressive.
Yeah, Weathers looked very good. Al Leiter started this thing off today. He looked good, and now Weathers comes in, and he is setting down the Buccos. Take a look at Mike Piazza. Catch that last strike. Stiff arm.
To see all the amazing action at Shea this season. Secure your seats for a Mets 8-pack. Choose from the Power Pack, Champion Pack, Rival Pack, or the All-Star Pack. Each ticket package includes a Mets-Yankees game and a Mets-Braves game. For more information or assistance in purchasing a Mets 8-pack, call 718-507-TIXX. We'll see you at Shea.
New York Mets Bay, exciting day for him, Fran, around the batting cage before the game. This is his first opening day at the big league level.
Oh, it's always an exciting time, opening day. Even if you've played 10 years in the big leagues, it's an exciting time. Everybody down in the field. You can see the fans excited about opening day, the media down by the batting cage. The place was jam-packed today, but Vance Wilson very excited about opening day. A kid that fought off a lot of injuries. He was a big prospect for the Mets. The good news is he's in the big leagues. The bad news is Mike Piazza's the catcher. He's got to back up.
We go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Jeremy Burnitz hit by a pitch and scored. 0 for 2 in the ball game. Sean Lowe stays on for his second inning. Mets with a chance to get the opening day win here at Shea Stadium against the Pittsburgh Pirates. They are 25-15 in opening day games over the 40-year history of this team. David Weathers outstanding out of the bullpen in replace of Leiter. That one by Burnitz is a foul ball.
Well, Jeremy Burnitz knows one speed. Long ball speed. Look at that swing. Never cheats himself. Whew.
Those big cuts. 1 ball, 2 strike count on it. Burnett's. Just about everybody's had a shot at striking out in this game.
How about this
Piazza hasn't done it.
How about Jay Payton, a home run this afternoon? Smoked it over the left field fence.
Got him.
Good breaking ball to get Jeromy Burnitz. Right over the top. Sometimes that ball that's above the waist is not necessarily a hanger. Jeromy Burnitz says, give me that fastball. I want the fastball. I'm going to hammer the fastball. Look at the intensity he gave me the curveball.
Dreyfus.
What was that?
That was a little preview of what's coming up.
You did a nice job, though.
Do you like that?
Hit the wrong cough button. But there's nothing wrong with that. It's opening day.
Fortunately, that's all I said. And a strike in the outside corner, Jay Payton. The homer came in the 4th inning. He's got a couple of RBIs. One came in a bases loaded walk in the 2nd. Speaking of our Dreyfus play of the game.
Back to the 4th inning. Watch this. Bang. Opens those hips. Gets the head of the bat out there and just rips that ball into left field. So Jay Payton off to a good start this year with a long home run. The ball over the 2nd fence out there into the 10th area.
1 ball, 2 strike count on Payton. Ooh, hello.
You know, Jay Payton's the only guy I've ever seen get hit in the head with a fastball and get up and charge the mound a couple of years ago. Usually you get hit, you're worried about your health. And this was oh so close.
That's a 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
He's diving in with that high leg kick. We talked about that leg kick before. Sometimes you get that leg off the ground and that ball's inside. You can't get out of the way.
Tried to go back outside with a breaking ball and buried it in the dirt for a 3 ball, 2 strike count on Jay Payton. Ordonez due up next. Mets hoping for a much better first month of the year. They were 10-15 last year at the end of April. That was the worst record in the East, in the Eastern Division. Did not help the cause as the season went along. Hoping for a better start. 3 games at home, then they go on the road to take on Atlanta and Chicago. Bobby Valentine's Mets, an opening day win. Great way to kick it off, and they're up 4-1. Another one high, and he walked it.
So Jay Payton with the home run in today's game. We talk about how important he could be if he could utilize his speed in stealing bases. So with a 3-run lead, you wonder, will Bobby Valentine tell Jay Payton, practice your steal. Steal second base. Not a bad time to run.
Jay Payton has speed. Not a big lead at first right now as Young throws over.
It's funny, he has that great speed. Might be the fastest runner on the team, say a 100-yard dash, but it takes that gambler's mentality to be a base stealer. You can't be afraid to take a chance.
Only 4 stolen bases last year in 104 games, and he's only a step off over there right now.
Boy, if the Mets could pour on the speed with Cedeno and Alomar and throw Payton into the mix, you put that opposition on their heels defensively.
Ray Ordonez. How about this, friend? The attendance today, 53,734, is the largest opening day crowd in franchise history.
Great turnout for the Mets. In this place, you can't get another seat. And a huge crowd on hand for the opening day of a team that has 13 new faces.
Ordonez takes it inside. 53,734 here today. That's Mark Johnson waiting on deck. He'll be the pinch hitter coming up for Weathers. And the Mets blessed with a very decent day weather-wise. Big house. 2-0 count on Ordonez with a 1 down. Payton at first. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Brown up with it, will hold the runner. So the Mets have 2 on and 1 down here in the 8th.
Highlights. What was that? We got a shot of LaGuardia Airport. Nice shot. I'm assuming it was LaGuardia. It'd be tough if you had those plates someplace else.
We know the cameras are high, but probably JFK is out of the question. All right, Scott Sauerbeck goes to work here. John Valentin coming to the plate. First plate appearance. He's got Payton on at second base and Ray Ordonez at first. Mets with a 4-1 lead. And Valentin for the Mets with 1 away. Valentin takes the pitch for a strike. This is a very new role for Valentin, who's had only 4 pinch hit opportunities in his whole career because he has been a starter.
And a good player with the Boston Red Sox, and unfortunately had an injury that set his career back. But as I mentioned a moment ago, he wants to play every day, and even if it takes going to a different ball club.
0-1 delivery to him, gets away, and the runners are going to move up. So Kendall reaching for it, hit the glove and bounces away, and the base runners move up.
Last pitch off the glove of Jason Kendall. Kendall with the knees on the ground. Had a tough time getting up high enough to make the grab. So now you got Valentin with runners on second and third. Cedeno's on deck.
Rolled a wild pitch. You saw Kendall start to move towards the inside part of the plate, and the ball went the other way. Infield moved in, 1-1 delivery. Again up high and away, 2-1.
Surprising he scored a wild pitch, really.
Puts 2 in scoring position for Valentin now. Two ball, 1 strike count. Valentin swings through it. 2 ball, 2 strike count. 35 years old, led the American League in doubles with 47 back in 97. Only played 20 games last year with Boston because of injuries. On the DL, left knee, rehabbed in the minors a while. 2-2 pitch to him. Valentin, another strikeout victim.
Valentin out in front on an off-speed pitch. So runners still on second and third, and 2 men are out, and Roger Cedeno with good speed is the batter.
That's 11 Mets who have struck out in the game today. Been a strikeout day. Leiter with 4 and David Weathers with 3, so 7 Pirates have struck out. Leadoff batter Cedeno, RBI single, came in the second inning. He has struck out 3 times. 2 called, 1 swinging. He's got 2 on here. 30-year-old left-hander Scott Sauerbeck on the mound for the Pirates here in the 8th. And he misses outside, 2-0. Cedeno's got the RBI opportunity right here. Put this ball game all but put it away for the Mets. 3-0. I don't think you work around Cedeno to get to Alomar.
No, Alomar on deck. Cedeno with good speed, the batter batting from the right side of the plate. You better take your chances with Cedeno right now.
And he walked him on 4 straight pitches. Roberto Alomar, bases loaded. Spin Williams on his way to the mound.
I'm assuming all he's going to do is try to calm the southpaw down. Best way you can do it, you walk out and say, don't worry about it. You're going to face one of the best hitters in the game. with the bases loaded. But just take a deep breath.
Comforting thought, huh?
Oh, boy. Take a look at Blimpie. American League scores.
Look at that game, friend. 5th inning, 22 runs. Pedro Martinez.
I bet he's no longer in the game.
Yes, I guess. I think he came out in the 3rd.
Probably the 1st.
They were behind. The Red Sox were behind 8-3 in the 3rd inning. It's 11-11.
That's got to be cause for concern up there, Pedro Martinez, because Martinez, when he's healthy, he's almost unhittable since joining the Red Sox.
Roberto Alomar last year, with the bases loaded, went 4 for 8. Did not have a grand slam home run. He's got the bases loaded here, 2 down. And takes a pitch for a called strike, 1-1. He didn't think so. Alomar finished up with 20 home runs and 100 RBIs with the Indians last year. 1-1 pitch to him, a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Not close on that one. He was fooled. 1-2 count from the left-hander.
Roberto not taking that good swing we saw him using in Florida. So this must be his opening day swing. We talked earlier about how he has struggled opening day. Look at this. Feeling for the ball. That's not Robbie Alomar. I mentioned how he has struggled in the past few opening days.
1-2 delivery to him, and Alomar bloops that one towards right center. Base hit. And the Mets will get 2 more. Alomar. It's been a day of dying quail for the Mets, and a most productive one.
As Gary mentioned, a lot of looping balls dropping in today. And this one off the bat of Robbie Alomar to drive in 2 big runs. Hokie and Reese going out and getting that ball, but the Mets score 2 more times. You'll take a look at Matt Galante, third base coach, waving him in. And holding him up. And Big Mo's the hitter.
A 6-1 lead now for the Mets. Mo Vaughn finally gets out of that 0 for 21 on opening day. Alomar, rather, and gets 2 RBIs. Mo Vaughn. Vaughn's had the 0 for today, 0 for 4. Fans want to see the long ball. They're all standing and chanting Mo. Runners at first and third.
He's got a chance of being a very popular player here in New York. I love the big fella.
One ball, 1 strike count. Attended Seton Hall University for 3 years, of course. Graduated from Trinity Pawling Prep in Pawling, New York. And you might say he has some size. 6'1", 275. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Vaughn.
Saw Mike Piazza on deck. He had a base hit in this game.
He's a .287 career hitter against left-handers.
Yeah, Mo's had a solid career batting average-wise, about .295.
1-2 delivery to him, down to first and foul.
Big Mo's dad had a tremendous influence on the youth Norwalk, Stamford, Connecticut area. His dad was an educator. Calvin Murphy, great basketball player with the Houston Rockets, told me that Mo's father had a tremendous influence on him. Mo's dad coached against Bobby Valentine when Bobby was a schoolboy standout in Connecticut in football.
1-2 delivery to him. Look out. Ripped back into the seats.
get the shift
Gonna
on.
see that shift all year, huh, friend?
They're going to do that to Mo Vaughn, move that infielder almost behind second base, but yet they're shading him to hit to left center. The center fielder's move. That's a pretty interesting alignment right there. Shortstop is playing him to pull. The center fielder's playing him to hit the ball the other way.
Pull the string on him.
Armando went out and got the award. Steve Phillips, along with Bob Weers, who represented Rolaids, gave the award. And Bobby Valentine was called out, and Armando Benitez handed Bobby the award. Bobby went down to check on him in his homeland during the offseason.
Gets the walk. So Rios on with a leadoff walk here in the 9th inning.
The right fielder, number 36, Craig Wilson.
Only 2 walks given up by Met pitchers today. Good work by Weathers. 2 innings, 3 strikeouts. In relief of Leiter. Here's Craig Wilson. His hit came in the 4th inning, a single.
Mariano Rivera, by the way, who won the Rolaids Relief Man Award in the American League at the Baseball Writers Dinner, gave the award to the members of the fire department, New York Fire Department. Said they are the real closers.
Among active relievers, 3rd best save percentage figure.
Well, he's a dominating pitcher. Unfortunately, those two, we blew 2 big leads last year. It was very tough on Armando Benitez, and that's what he was remembered for, but he dominated last year.
Down to second, uncontested Rios. A 2-strike count on Wilson. And he fouls that one back.
Pretty good battle here. Wilson is a dead fastball hitter. We've been talking about that throughout the game, and Armando Benitez rearing back and firing.
Mo Vaughn, pitcher Benitez covering. Runner moves over to third, and there's one away.
Look at this. Sun coming down right in the eyes of the outfielders, and then you'll see the outfielder with the sunglasses put his glove up to block the sun, and then they peek around the sun to catch the ball. That's how tough it is out there.
He's got his glove up on every pitch, trying to see the delivery and hoping if anything comes off the bat towards him, he'll see it. Yeah, he's guiding, shading his eyes.
That's tough, boy. When you have to have your glove up to see the pitcher throw the ball.
He's going, come on, Benitez, strike him out.
That's right. Just throw that fastball. That's a great shot.
And of course, a fly ball, but to left. Cedeno's got it. Runner will tag. Rios will score. Nunez gets the RBI and a sac fly.
Sun not as tough on left fielder now, but we saw Cedeno out there earlier fighting off that sun. And our shot from our super cam. Look at that. Cedeno, no sunglasses. He said, this is a piece of cake. So the MSG super cam watches the ball right into the webbing of the glove. You know, it's from last year, those 2 outings against the Braves, but now they're behind them as they all stand here at Shea Stadium cheering him on. Mets need him. One of the most dominating relief pitchers in all of baseball.
Armando Benitez trying to finish it up. 43 saves out of 46 last year. This is not a save. 3-2 delivery. Popped up. Ordonez, Alfonso.
Oh! Somebody,
and then nobody.
Yeah, somebody heard something that wasn't said. I think it was, I got it. Big crowd on hand, a lot of noise. You know, it looked like Ordonez was yelling to Fonzie. That's what happens when you just don't understand Spanish.
Not there. That's not a problem. So Benitez got to try and do it again. 3-2, 2 down. And he got him in and the Mets win it 6-2.
Well, in front of a big crowd, Armando Benitez comes in and shuts the door. Al Leiter, opening day pitcher, gets the victory. David Weathers came in, throwing the ball well. The offense was in pretty good form today. Home run by Jay Payton, 3 hits by Alfonso. And Bobby Valentine looks too relaxed. Probably been relaxed throughout the ball game, knowing Al Leiter had that ball. So Al Leiter now 1-0 on the season. Mike Piazza with the hit. That guy right there had a long home run over the second fence out there in left field into the tent area. Cedeno opening day, Big Mo Vaughn.
Here are the final totals for today's game.
So as Gary mentioned, the biggest crowd, opening day crowd in the history of Shea Stadium.
The winning pitcher, Al Leiter.
Third baseman to hold the fort until Drew Henson is ready. This afternoon, I asked Mets general manager Steve Phillips about the deal.
So Steve, he goes, who's on first? What's on second? Third base, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either right now, but I think that, look, I think this is a trade that gave us some flexibility. I think we wanted to try to add some thump to our outfield. We think David Justice fits us better right now with how we want to configure the club, and as we made this move, it gave us some flexibility.
So is it possible that Fonz could return to third base or Relaford?
Well, I think that Edgardo's preference is to stay at second base, and I think we're going to try to do what we can to honor that preference.
The outfield is Shinjo, Lawton, and Justice. What happens to Payton?
Well, we're really dealing from a position of strength right now with numbers in the outfield. I think that it's a year where there is a lot of interest in outfielders, and I think that David does bring us that certain veteran presence in left or right field and gives Bobby some options there.
Now, one of the great things for Justice and Ventura, neither guy has to move.
Mets fans are going to really like this one.
Yeah, you know, some people criticize the Mets for not getting too active last year in the offseason, but I think they're being extremely active, and people are going to be very excited about this summer, calling him the finest second baseman in baseball history, although I'm sure Joe Morgan and Rogers Hornsby will have a little something to say about that. But whatever, he is certainly the finest in the game today, and as of this morning, Roberto Alomar is a New York Met. Matt Lawton, among others, is headed to Cleveland, and we are pleased to be joined this evening by Met skipper Bobby Valentine, who is with us from his restaurant in Corona, Queens. Bobby, what's the special tonight?
You're the special, Brett. Actually, we have a Piazza special, soon to be an Alomar double play.
I like the way that sounds. Congratulations, first of all. It's a great get for you guys. This is an A-level talent, someone who's going to help you on offense and defensively.
Yeah, when people say he's one of the great second basemen of all times, it's because you could come to a game, you could see him play defense and win a game, run the bases, win a game, hit a home run, bump for a hit. He really does it all. Here he is making a great backhanded play. And, you know, he's fun to watch. He has a flair. He's a good-looking guy. He has a smile, and he's a New York Met, so I couldn't be any happier.
Is that one of the criteria, him being a good-looking guy? I know he's married to Mary Pierce and all that stuff. I didn't know that was on your checklist of things to do.
I think it helps for the fans when they're coming out. It just gives a nice look to the great play. Yeah.
Well, it's good to know that you're thinking of those things. Obviously, nothing's in stone until April, but is it your expectation that Edgardo Alfonso, who is your second baseman, will now move to third? How comfortable is Edgardo with that? How comfortable are you with that?
Well, I know he can play third base. He's a great third baseman, but he's also a great second baseman, and I want him to be comfortable. I want him to be comfortable for his career. His career has been exclusively with the Mets. He's played third base extremely well. He's played second base extremely well. And we're hoping that after next year, which is his free agent year, which, you know, in today's time, it really is a big year for players. And let's hope he's comfortable. I believe he will be. He's a terrific person and one of the great players in the game of baseball himself.
The people in Cleveland and Baltimore, where Robbie Alomar has played, know him to be a quality human being. They know that he's an all-star and about the .336 average, and that he's a good teammate. But I think when some people in New York hear the name Roberto Alomar, they think of that incident in '96 with the spitting and John Hirschbeck. In your mind, is it fair to say that was just a blip on the radar screen of an otherwise quality individual?
No, totally. You know, I played with Robbie's dad, Sandy, back in the '70s. Sandy Alomar Sr. is the top of the line. He's a gentleman all the way. Robbie hasn't fallen too far from the tree. And today he's raising money for John Hirschbeck's family's charity, which is fighting against a dreaded disease that some of John's kids have been stricken with. So, yeah, he learned from mistakes, as all of us should do, and I think he's going to teach a lot of people how not to make mistakes and how to enjoy the game of baseball.
Bobby, thanks. 5 seconds. Bonds, Alou, still hope for that? No? Yes?
I'm still hopeful to do everything we can to improve our team.
On April 1st against the Pirates in the Subway Series with the Yanks. Already sold out. Forget about that. Meanwhile, players are down in Florida for spring training this week. CBS 2 sports director Brett Haber is down there as well, and his live reports begin.
They picked up some huge bats. Now, if that pitching would just hold up. But why should I talk about it when CBS 2 sports director Brett Haber is in Port St. Lucie with day 2 of Mets spring training? Brett.
Hi there, guys. I wish I could tell you there's better weather down here, but Florida is just gross. I think you've got it better up in New York. And speaking of the Mets, let's be honest, last year was pretty much of a disappointment for them. Coming off the Subway Series in 2000, they missed the playoffs entirely and finished only 2 games above 500. But this year, there is a distinct feeling around this Mets camp that things are going to be different. Vaughn, Alomar, Cedeno, Burnitz, Piazza, and on and on. It is a lineup any team would be ecstatic to have, and the guys who seem to be most excited about the new Mets bats are the Mets pitchers.
It is nice knowing that if your lineup has the capability of banging out some runs and you happen to give up a 2-run homer to Vladimir in the 3rd inning, you don't feel like the game is lost. And unfortunately, last year we had a season in which we had a tough time scoring.
Our job is to go out there and keep the team in the game. I don't think it should be too difficult this year, considering we're going to probably put some runs up on the board. But at the same time, there's going to be a lot of one-run ball games and close ball games that we need to come out on the winning side of.
As for the lineup that will try to achieve that, really only one starting job is open this spring, and that is center field. And the competition between Jay Payton, Gary Matthews, and Timo Perez has begun. Do you relish the opportunity to come to spring training and be able to compete?
I do. You know, I'm in great shape and prepared really well for this upcoming season. And, you know, I feel great. You know, it's been a lot of fun.
Right now, you know, it's a situation where if I have a good spring, I like to think I'm going to be the guy to get the first shot out there. But, you know, it's one of those situations, too, where we got a few other guys in the wing. So if one guy's not getting the job done, then somebody else is going to get a chance to do it.
For the rest of the Mets, spring is simply time to ramp the body back up in time for opening day in 5 weeks. But if you've never been to a New York spring training before, complete with huge crowds and swarming media, it'll phase a player. Give us a breakdown on what kind of cat is he?
No, I was talking to him today. I think he's a little overwhelmed at first. You know, there's a lot of excitement. He's like, man, you know, I mean, you have like 3,000 people here today. I mean, so just for a workout. So imagine the kind of excitement and the buzz that we have.
Mo Vaughn, by the way, checked into camp weighing a, shall we say, robust 270 pounds. It may sound like a lot, but we asked Mo, hey, what's your actual playing weight? He said, oh, 260. 260. Could play linebacker. God bless him. We'll have more at 6 o'clock. For now, we're live in reasons why. Sean Estes, he joined the Mets from San Francisco this offseason. Had a bit of a down year in 2001, but he is a former 19-game winner. And listen to what Mets ace Al Leiter has to say about him.
This guy is legitimate. I believe he's going to be the 97 pitcher that he was when he won 19 games with the 3 ERA. He's got great stuff.
Ernie, 41-year-old, whether or not to undergo Tommy John surgery, knowing that without the surgery, he may not pitch again.
I am going to explore all options, speak to all the medical people that I need to speak to. When I'm ready to make a decision, everyone out here would know. Well, when I came home last night, my son said to me, is it my fault because we played catch the day before? And I told him no.
Now, keep in mind, when Tommy John had a tendon removed from his forearm and attached to his pitching elbow, he was only 31. When he came back at age 33, he won more games than he had before the surgery. All right, meanwhile, once again, is there a worse fielding team in the league than the Mets? Let's go to the videotape. Last night's game, top of the 5th. Shin high chopper to the Fonz. Fonz straddles it, and the throw to first. No, it hits the pitching mound. Then, top of the 8th inning, Rich Aurilia, fly ball left center field. Peyton McEwing, Peyton says, I've got it. But he pulls off at the last minute, drops in. Come on, play ball. Giants win 8-2.